her soul to keep me satisfied. And I'm seized and eased at the very same time. I'm pleased to say I don't often compromise, but I'd give the world to make her mine. I'd give that girl my heart, my soul, and my eyes. 'Cause I never realized she's passing me by until I'm cold inside. My heart, my soul, and my eyes, and I'll never realize she's passing me by. Oh no, yeah. She's just a bird, bridges high. She's along the river that flows on by. She's just a bend in that river that flows on by, that redirected the wind but let the breeze blow. My heart, my soul, and my eyes, and I'll never realize she's passing me by until I'm cold inside. My heart, my soul, and my eyes, and never realize she's passing me by. Oh no, yeah. How long it has been since I took such a blow to the mind, and how wrong does it seem for me to touch one so sublime? And this song, it is not mine. It belongs on the breeze, yeah, the breeze that blows my mind. September 3rd, and I haven't heard from her. I thought for sure we were starting something that wouldn't allow for what's just occurred. I thought for sure we were, but I haven't heard from her. And I'm singing Mayday, Mayday, 'cause our love lasted no longer than an April day. And I could hear it in the words she'd say. Baby's got something of an August way. At the end of the summer she don't plan to stay. No way, no way. 'Cause it's no longer that April day. October 3rd and she hasn't yet called. It seems after all we were never starting nothing that would ever last past the fall. It hurts after all. It hurts after all. And now as I fall, I'm singing Mayday, Mayday, 'cause our love lasted no longer than an April day. And I could hear it in the words she'd say. Baby's got something of an August way, yeah. The end of the summer she don't plan to stay. No way, no way, 'cause it's no longer that April day. November 3rd and not a word from her. I still haven't heard from her, but I still remember her. And I'm singing Mayday, Mayday, 'cause our love lasted no longer than an April day. And I could hear it in the words she'd say. Baby's got something of an August way, yeah. The end of the summer she don't plan to stay. No way, no way, 'cause it's no longer that April day. Most of what I wanna know is what's going on. What's wrong? How long has it been since you've seen the sun? Made a joke or said a pun or even made fun of me. You used to make me think that you wanted me. It's so sad to me. How can I mend you now? 1 year, yes, one more by. A little less of my time thinking, little more of my time high. And I wonder why life hangs you out to dry. So I think I might go by the east side. Meet me on the east side of the bridge. We know flying is not right, but you might for what you did. Hang your feet from the east side of the bridge. I know they're near there or here, they're taking my ditch, but I don't care. I'll meet you anywhere, so meet me. Rest of what I wanna know, I can't ask. No thing is stuck in the past that you maybe should have asked about the last time we spoke about pastimes. Like, are you lonely tonight, or were you only lonely that time? Because time won't be the end of another line. Even if this is the end, are you my love or my friend tonight? 1 year, yes, one more by. A little less of my time thinking, a little more of my time high. And I wonder why life hangs you out to dry. So I think I might go by, hang my feet from the east side. Meet me on the east side of the bridge. We know flight is not right, but you might for what you did. Hang your feet from the east side of the bridge. I know they're near there or here, they're taking my ditch, but I don't care. I'll meet you anywhere. Meet me on the east side of the bridge. We'll let the sunrise be both of our alibis. So meet me. You're like the sea I'm sinking in, falling 1,000 leagues in love. And if I were to meet my demise, I wouldn't regret nor rise above. And if you were to wear a disguise, baby, your eyes would be enough to see your worth. It lies far within. I believe I found a diamond in a rough, and I wanna do something with this life I'm lucky to live, for this world I'm living in. So I'll never stop loving, because I am a man made up of more than just the sum of all my parts. And baby, I believe your body's a work of art. So show me an open mind, and I will hold you in my arms, so you can feel my heart beat faster for you. Can't you feel my heart beat faster for you? Can't you feel my heart beat faster for you? I stand stressed and looking at a mess from the corner by my bedroom door. I never want to see her anymore. I now know nothing could ever be what I thought it could be before. But my eyes keep slipping towards the door. You slip away and out from under my soul implore. 'Cause I have run out of you time, and I will no longer lend you any of mine. As a man I'd planned to enjoy your curving line, but the sand in your hourglass has become too fine. I think less than I should have about the mess that I left on my bedroom floor. But after all, she had to be ignored. You slip away and out from under my soul employed. time, and I will no longer lend you any of mine. As a man, I'd plan to enjoy your curving line, but the sand in your hourglass has become too fine. And I want to see her ever again no more. Yeah, yeah. And I won't see her ever again no more. It's my pleasure, but baby, no more. Oh, because I've run out of you time, and I will no longer lend you any of mine. As a man, I'd plan to enjoy your curving line, but the sand in your hourglass has become too fine. Yeah, the river of our love has run dry. It's dark and cold and empty as your eyes. And as I arrive outside your lonely door, you realize the time ain't on our side no more. It's just about time. Oh, 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 oh. You feel it a bit unfair. There's no one there to look after you. Your disciples are scared, but they will all come back to you. Yeah, they will all come back to you. But nobody there means no one to share your last meal with. Your spirit's in disrepair. You wonder if Siddhartha installed the Buddha. Was he scared? Hope his people make it back to hell. Hope his people make it back to hell. Was Jesus Father fair? Was justice done there on that limb? God's hand must have been scared, because the devil's always after hell. Yeah, the devil's always after hell. Oh, Apollo, can we be spared and wait for impending disaster? Oh, does anything care? Oh, they write in Zoroaster. Oh, are you even there? Or is it life in darkness after? Oh, is it life in darkness after? Oh, are you even there? Or is it life in darkness after? Oh, is it life in darkness after? West Coast will come closer to town. Well, I see San Francisco Bay in the sundown through goggles or underground. Suddenly, California can't be found. We should all take a good last look around. It's closing time. I leave on the neon glow and the open sign. You're coming anytime, but you passed it by the road you're on. Gotta try to turn around your own design. Oh, but you're running out of time. How long do you think we'll stumble around and drown, saying the structure of the world was faulty found? For what it's worth, the earth is round. Ain't got no good news to say, so say nothing at all, at all, at all. How long till the third tallest tower falls? It's closing time. I'll leave on the neon glow at the open sign. You're coming anytime, but you passed it by the road you're on. Gotta try to turn around your own design. Oh, but you're running out of time. There's hope alive inside. You're coming anytime, 'cause there's hope alive inside. You're running out of time, but there's hope alive inside. You're coming anytime, 'cause there's hope alive inside. Oh, but you're running out of time.
What the fuck is going on with ya? I'm Cole. This is Cole Lateral TV.
Sneako's trying to get into the call. Sneako's trying to ambush you. Sneako's trying to join. And I was like,
What happened between you and him? Abba and Preach were threatened. Ethan Klein did reach out, which is good. I have a DM from Abba himself.
I know he says he does.
So, we're live and alive. We're fucking around and trucking downtown. Let's fucking go.
doesn't like Jewish people now, but so whether he was LARPing or not, like, because Milo was like such a habitual liar, you never really know what's true and what isn't.
You never
like,
really
like him.
know
he's
what's
also
true
renounced his
and what isn't.
homosexuality.
Just like
so,
him.
But I definitely saw him with guys, so who
Just like him.
All right, we got a lot of exciting stuff that's happened in the last week. What's your favorite thing? If you had to pick one before you bite into that, before you
XQC
bite
stuff.
in, the XQC stuff is more exciting to you than, let's see, what are the other more exciting stuff? The XQC stuff. Okay, which part of the XQC stuff in specific
good
terms,
part.
if you had to say,
Duh.
would it be the facts? Why is he hanging out with Aiden Ross and all these fucking retards? By the way,
Viewership? I have no idea, to be honest.
it doesn't seem like his crowd at all. And like to the point, like he's like, I don't get it.
It has to be because it's just like a viewership thing. Because it's like like XQC and the WO community, like just in my mind, don't go together at all.
It does seem weird because X seems like a sounds weird. He seems like a smart dude and he's funny and he likes to like learn shit and watch funny shit and everything else like that. And then that other shit, just people in the other kind of community did not
don't
vibe with
jive,
him that way at all. It
motherfucker.
just seems
Horrible.
I don't understand people who like that content either. What's the appeal in your opinion?
Like WL community appeal?
Or, yeah, sure. Yeah. What's your opinion?
Well, a lot of it is very, very, very young, right? Like the average age is probably under 18 or
Okay.
like close to it.
Sure.
So you've got a lot of young people, and then a lot of it is kind of like, I don't know, what's a nice way to say like hood humor?
I think you
Like
just
I think
said
that
what you were
community
thinking.
skews like very black, so they have like all their kind of like cultural memes and norms or whatever that are going to be a little bit different than like mainstream like whiter audiences online and shit.
Sure.
Even if like the majority of them aren't black, and then they're really young or they're really edgy, and
Yeah, I'm surprised. I don't know. I see him playing games with them, doing stuff with them all the time. But I mean, you know, if there's, I guess, community overlap, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, I guess all you want to do is network with other big streamers, and those guys are also big streamers at the end of the day. Okay, the big meme. Okay, before we get into more X stuff, like, I mean, we can stay on X shit, actually. I realize, stop jumping around topics, Dan. Talk about what you want to talk about. So, XQC had this kerfuffle where he was on stream with these guys, and then some of the guys started dropping a word that I would personally never utter, but you've been known to say a few times because you had the pass.
the N-word.
I don't think you have that pass.
I do,
But
but I know what you're talking about. The other one, the F one.
Yes. And he left the call with them as a result of that. And then for some reason, you were in a call discussing this with XQC. And first off, can you stop fucking eating? Okay. This is a fucking podcast. You know, if you're not going to fucking eat on bridges, don't fucking eat here. All right. I take this shit seriously. Don't bring food here anymore, Lycan. All right. When he's here, nothing. Okay. There's going to be fucking shots in front of him or nothing else. This is unbelievable.
Dan, do you see how fucking happy he is right now?
I can't get a word out of him.
I've been giving you lots of
put
words.
that goddamn fucking
Okay,
snack
put it
down. Unbelievable.
That's the last one.
No, you know what? We'll just wait in fucking silence while you have your fucking snack.
Oh, okay.
This is You know what you are? A child.
Okay, what?
No, I'm not saying nothing until you're done. Fuck you. Wait in the silence as you ruin my goddamn show. Unbelievable. You know how much effort I put into this? Okay.
Oh shit, I understand. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Because it's not kosher, right? Because it's like salami.
Yeah, because I keep kosher. I don't
I'm
have
sorry. My bad.
I don't have bacon.
Like next time, pure beef. Okay.
Pure beef? All right.
Yeah, but that wouldn't work either because you can't have beef with dairy products.
Why?
You're not allowed to. I don't fucking know. I don't follow it anyways.
come from the same animal. How the f- does that make sense?
I don't know because religious people are fucking insane would be my guess. Okay? There's all sorts of crazy shit you can't do, like wear fucking clothing made of different fabrics or fucking dance if the music is too like jovial or some shit like that. I don't fucking know.
Okay, ask your question. I'm gonna eat one more of these.
No.
But after I answer your question, go ahead.
Well, my question is longer than that. You know what? Why are you here having dinner at
Okay,
my
this is
thing?
the last one, and then I'm moving this plate away. I haven't eaten all day. I'm hungry. Here. My cook didn't make anything for me today.
Unbelievable.
Lycan's fault. There you go.
Lycan,
Wow.
Jesus fucking Christ. I have to put this over here because I actually don't trust you. Not to.
Okay.
Not to not eat it.
Go ahead.
Okay, fine. I'm just gonna get started with what I remember. Okay, so you were talking with X. I think it was just X at first. I'm gonna call him X because we're kind of, we're close. Anyways, as you were talking with X about these comments that were made during a stream and what was going on, first off, what you had is you had the dude, who was it called? Cuffham or something like that?
Yeah.
Is that the name? I might be saying I'm wrong. I might be saying I'm wrong. I might be saying I'm wrong. I might be saying I'm wrong.
That is the name, yeah.
Is it the actual name?
That is the name, yeah.
Is it the actual name?
That is the name, yeah.
Is it the actual name?
That is the name, yeah.
Is it the actual name? Claim, or are you making fun of me? Claim, or are you making fun of me? Claim, or are you making fun of me? Claim, or are you making fun of me?
Not only is it the actual Actual name?
Yeah.
Hearing you say it, now I understand what the name is about.
Yeah.
Like cuff 'em. Yeah.
Yeah. Bracelets.
I didn't know that.
Am I coming through? Okay, I guess I am. I guess I am. I guess I am. Check, check. Check, check. Check, check. Check, check. Check, check. Check, check.
But
Okay.
But I thought it was like a play on cough or something. But okay.
Okay. Anyways,
Cough or something. But okay.
so
Anyways. Cough or something. But okay.
Cuffham came in there. Well, actually, can we get the synopsis directly from you? Because you were in there.
Pure beef. Okay.
Pure beef. All right.
Yeah, but that wouldn't work either because you can't have beef with dairy products.
Why?
You're not allowed to. I don't fucking know. I don't follow
They
it
literally
anyways.
come from the same fucking animal. How does that make sense?
I don't know because religious people are fucking insane. Would be my guess. Okay.
Alright. Termite crisis averted. Fucking termites. Jesus H. Christ. Got all the shit.
There's all sorts of crazy shit you can't do, like wear fucking clothing made of different fabrics, or fucking dance if the music is too like jovial or some shit like that. I don't fucking know.
Okay, ask your question. I'm gonna eat one more of these.
No.
But after I answer your question, go ahead.
Well, my question is longer than that. You know what? Why are you here having dinner
Okay,
at my
this
thing?
is the last one, and then I'm moving this plate away. I haven't eaten all day. I'm hungry. Here. My cook didn't make anything for me today.
Unbelievable.
Lycan's fault. There you go.
Lycan,
Wow.
Jesus fucking Christ. I have to put this over here because I actually don't trust you. Not to not eat it.
Go ahead.
Okay, fine. I'm just gonna get started with what I remember. Okay, so you were talking with X. I think it was just X at first. I'm gonna call him X because we're kind of, we're close. Anyways, as you were talking with X about these comments that were made during a stream and what was going on, first off, what you had is the dude, who was it called? Cuffham or something like that?
Yeah,
Is that the name? I might be saying I'm wrong.
that is the name. Yeah.
Is it the actual name or are you making fun of me?
Not only is it the actual name,
Yeah.
hearing you say it, now I understand what the name is about.
Yeah.
Like Cuffham. Yeah.
Yeah, bracelets.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
But I thought it was like a play on cough or something. But okay.
Okay, anyways.
Mhm.
So, Cuffham came in there. Well, actually, can we get the synopsis directly from you? Because you were in there, and I was actually impressed with your performance a little
Oh,
bit. But
yeah.
how did it start? What was the midway point, et cetera, et cetera?
I don't know. 3 days ago, XQC was fighting with the WL community over leaving a call because they were using
Bad words.
the gay one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw people were posting in his subreddit and a little bit of my subreddit, and I thought I should say something because, when the juicers needed defense, the bannermen of DGG.
We're kind of aligned, DGG and
yeah, because we don't have many
XQC.
allies in this world, so
that is true. Very
yeah,
limited.
it's important that we answer the call.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just really boring, so I didn't give a fuck. But then when Felix messaged me to ask me about it, I'm like, oh, okay, well, we can chat about it.
Sure.
And then we had a conversation about boundaries and expectations from friends. And then I saw somebody in chat say that Cuffham wanted to join and chat about it. I was like,
No,
okay.
that was one of the dudes that was using the term.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he joined and he was apologetic. Yes.
Kind of, yeah.
You wouldn't put it? Okay, how would you put it as him coming on there?
I don't even know. They didn't even agree on what it meant to be homophobic or offensive, but he said he wouldn't say it anymore if it bothered XQC. He just didn't see a problem with it.
You know, this is an interesting thing. In rap culture, there's still... Don't put that fucking smile on your face. I saw it right when you did it right away, and I didn't like it. Because I know what you were thinking, and I know what you're saying, and I don't like it. I don't like the implication, okay? There's not a lot of pressure from lefties to be accepting of gay people. It's still extremely common in all rap music to not be accepting of gay people at all, and there's no one fucking saying shit about it.
Well,
Ever.
it's a little bit different today versus
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
You've got people like I think Lil Nas is satanic and talks about gay shit, I think, and Tyler the Creator openly is he's at least bisexual.
Sure.
And raps about it. I think Kendrick Didn't he write that song that was a big deal that was titled off of, and it had to do with him having was it like a trans aunt?
I think it was called Auntie Diaries.
It might have been, yeah. Yeah, so I feel like if you're listening to like drill rap or whatever, you're probably not finding a lot of gay-friendly themes, but I think rap is a bit more diverse today as a genre of music than it was like in the 90s.
But it still exists that, you know, I mean, I don't even know if gangster rap is a thing, you know.
I think, wouldn't you say that that's like drill rap has kind of filled in that?
I don't even know what the drill rap is.
Man's not hot.
You should watch more Adam 22 and you'd know.
Okay. So anyways, yeah, it was interesting that there's not a lot of pressure on that. So, okay. What happened next? Someone else joined the call, I believe.
Oh yeah, like 20 people messaged me and they were like, Sneako's trying to get into the call. Sneako's trying to ambush you. Sneako's trying to join. And I was like, well, let him in. I don't give a fuck. We'll see what happens. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a chill conversation. You know, maybe it'll be good for viewers. You know, maybe it'll be whatever. Wait, what did you just type in chat? What was that? Can you read that? If you're going to type it during the show, shouldn't you be willing to read what you typed?
Don't start with me. Anyways, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Wild. That's a wild thing to say when we're talking about this topic, Dan.
Is it really? It's not related, and it's also different. And also, you know what you're... Just don't fucking start with me.
Anyway.
Say what you're saying.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so Snako decides to join, and he's there to do his fucking retarded, like, 74 IQ Muslim grift, and it's, like, literally, I guess, like, shooting fish in a barrel, but he wanted to come and, like, try to eat, like, XQC out of the barrel, and, yeah.
What happened between you and him during this call? It got a little heated from what I remember.
I don't know. He came in to like preach and give a couple like of his programmed NPC lines. And then I asked him like a couple of really basic questions about the new religion that's supposedly been the centerpiece of his life for the past year, and he couldn't answer a single one of them. And then he got ass mad and flustered, and then he ran off to all of his griper friends and everything afterwards to cry about how unfair and evil I am, and claimed that I ambushed him despite the fact that he joined that call that I was already in. So yeah,
Interesting. There was a time when you were friends with him, or at least
friendly,
if you will. Shared a snack, if you would, at a restaurant. There was a time. Anyways, a long time gone. That's over. That was a very exciting whole... I almost felt like Nebraska Steve was flowing through your veins when that happened. You know why? Because it's so rare, if you're watching DGG chat, to see the Abathur emotes just flying by. It must get you fucking rock hard seeing that. You're like, yeah, I'm doing it when that happens. Yeah? No? I like it personally.
Problem with Snako is just like the perfect combination of like smug and stupid. So like imagine there is like a serial child rapist, but imagine that he is like handicapped. So like you can beat the shit out of a cripple finally, but they're like a child serial rapist, so you don't have to feel bad about it. That's what arguing with Snako is like.
You think
it's like beating up a
to you, there's no challenge whatsoever.
Serial child rapist. No.
Could you have gone harder, you felt?
Maybe. I don't know. Not much harder. No, I would give him space a little bit to talk to XQC, and I would let him kind of...
Okay.
Like, yeah.
We also have a special guest coming tonight.
Yeah?
You won't believe who we hooked for tonight's show.
Who's that?
Your old friend, Richard Lewis. Can you believe it?
That's crazy.
How long has it been since you've talked to this guy?
Years at least.
I know.
That's awesome. We must have paid to fly him in to be a guest here, right?
Well, that's where the Patreon expenses really go at the end of the day. I mean, people like to complain, but that shit's not cheap. I mean, you got the flight in, you got the food, you got the hotel, multiple days, you got the, you know, all that stuff. You know, flight out also. Anyways, what?
Move your laptop over and your mic closer to you.
My laptop?
No. Just keep it there. I like it when people can't hear him as much.
Okay, good. Like this. Sorry. Okay.
Why am I such a sucker for playing these bosses? Like,
according to August, it's a subject dear to my heart. Copyright law. God, I love it so much.
oh, what's going on,
it's
Russ?
so interesting to me, and I have a unique take on it. Anyways,
I got to play this boss like 500 times while I was in the fucking demo.
Copyright
and I
strikes.
still don't
like the channel, I guess. If you just have too many,
still don't want to like kill him.
Is that how it works
like,
on YouTube?
I hope there's a boss
videos
gauntlet
recently that were flagged, some new, some
That's
old,
cool, man.
by a company called LDS Affiliate, which on behalf of Jubilee is flagging a bunch of their videos saying that we are infringing on their copyright. Now, I'm not going to make a video about something like this normally. I appeal it. I go through the same steps that I do with all the other channels. Generally, after an appeal or two, everything gets undone. But this time, no, they're going forward with the removal. And they're saying if these videos are not removed in the next 5 to 6 days, they will give us a copyright strike. And there's enough of them that we would probably get 3 copyright strikes and have all the channels removed.
A lot of folks don't know is we allow folks to monetize off of our content, right? And that's a deliberate choice that we've made, is actually that we could take away their monetization so that they're not making money off of using our content, but we actually give them that permission, and we think that's one of the ways that we continue to operate in the spirit of like our mission.
You know what's interesting? A little known fact that I happen to know.
Newcomers,
I don't know
huh?
if you know. Do you know when you
Got some raw
and you
recruits
use
in the
Content
building,
ID
eh?
system to remove someone's shit, you're not doing a DMCA. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know that, but I'm telling you that now.
Oh, yeah. No.
What are you
tell me
looking
more.
at, bud?
I have no idea how DMCA works on YouTube.
Okay.
Are
Can
you
fill
looking
me
at your
in? It's not
shadow
like it's
right
been my
now,
job
Kat?
For,
No,
years and years.
I'm
So
happy
tell
to
me,
do that.
So wait, you're saying that a copyright
Well, you want me to
ID
fill you in?
You're saying that that's
Oh,
a
no.
different thing
So
than
when you
like
go, yeah, yeah, yeah.
manual
One of them
strike?
fucking
no,
bucks.
what's the
Well, no,
difference? 'Cause
actually,
I would have
that's not
assumed,
one either.
I would have
See
assumed
how
it's all the
cocky
same.
he is?
Can you
Still
tell
being
me?
wrong.
Please go ahead and
Oh, no
illustrate
way.
the difference for me.
Okay,
Dan?
first
Yeah.
off, anything that you do that's initiated on the YouTube system, meaning when I go to YouTube and I say file a claim against this, file
Yeah,
a
well,
copyright
isn't
claim
that
against this, and I do
exactly
it, and then
what
you
young
get it,
boys
you notice
the
that,
world
hey, Dave wants
around
to fucking
think?
remove your video, and you can choose not to do it, fight it or not. Regardless of what you do, none of this is actually a DMCA that's been filed.
Wow. When you say DMCA that's been filed, can you tell us what that means?
Sure,
Yeah.
DMCA is very strict.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Interesting. Like strict how?
Meaning that it doesn't happen with a web form.
Uh-huh.
It's typically sending an email following a specific format.
Oh,
with-
so an email that's not a web form, right? Like a web form that would generate an email wouldn't count? Okay. And so you say like a DMCA.
Fucking
so is
Florida,
that like a piece
man.
Of like
Can't stand this
legislation,
shit
or is that like a
sometimes.
civil litigation action, or like what does that mean to
That's
like
the
send an
Digital
email?
Millennium Copyright Act.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's like a whole law.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
How long can you keep going with the condescending
no,
voice?
I'm not. I'm so curious.
I'm so curious too.
Yeah.
I feel like both of us are so curious how long the other one can
Don't
keep.
we
no,
always-
I'm trying to. I genuinely
You
want to
wanna know too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it sounds like you researched
All
the
right,
segment.
I need to
don't
turn
know
this
anything about
down.
this, so.
They're making it
know.
louder.
So
Okay,
weird.
so the web form is not the same as an
Yes.
email, which is way more serious. Okay.
So let me tell you something.
There we
if I
go.
send an email right now
Yeah.
to copyright at YouTube.com, I guess.
I'm
and
gonna
it follows
restart
the format, I don't have
this.
to do anything else. I've just submitted a DMCA to you.
Turn this
And there is no
down.
process for you to avoid that as a front. That is a DMCA. Now you can go.
All right, cool.
And you can do
All right,
a
my bad.
counter notice.
All right,
But
we're fully
that's it.
reset,
There is no right
and
now.
we're
Most
chilling.
people are used to the fact that if you
My
upload
bad,
some,
Russ.
some copyrighted
So,
stuff on YouTube,
Yeah.
you're gonna get an alert like, hey, someone.
What's going on with the new
Warner,
recruits? You
NBC
got
has-
any
has claimed this stuff, and you have to remove it.
You got
None
any
of that is
sticks in the
DMCA.
mud? You got any
Actual
real
DMCA
assholes?
Is when you go and you send the email, and there is no warning. There's essentially, that's it. You've now received a DMCA, and you have the right to do a counter DMCA. And anyways, Google builds a lot of this stuff into the system at YouTube. But all that we have today so far is that Jubilee, which is the cringe shit where people walk back and forth if they agree or disagree. Is that right? That they sent multiple takedowns, not as one, which is another sneaky thing to do. You know that also, right?
I don't. Tell me about that. Like, do we have wine?
I can get some.
You are.
Okay, don't worry. Okay, what do you mean by multiple instead of like one, or what do you mean by that?
I realize why so many people hate you right now. It's like clicking in my head because
Yeah.
you're trying hard, and I got it, and it's fine. I'll explain to the other people
Yeah, one.
who don't know.
Okay, yeah. That's what I'm asking.
Oh,
for.
yeah?
It's like playing the everyman.
Why?
here.
Why you do this?
Well, because every time I talk, you get mad. But
How
now you
dumb
don't
do
get mad
they
for
have
this one
to
more.
be?
Go ahead. Talk to us. Tell us.
Don't you guys know this man benches 310 pounds? Shit.
Okay. When you send a DMCA, there's the opportunity for you to have one URL or multiple URLs inside of it. And it's much more damaging if you just do multiple complaints at once, all for a single URL, as opposed to one DMCA that has multiple URLs. The first one,
That's crazy. Yeah.
I f***ing hate you. Why'd I ever agree? Why'd I ever agree to do this f***ing shit? God, you're such an asshole.
Just fill us in. I'm filling in
That's
for
it.
the audience. that
Okay,
didn't know.
if you know what? let's just everyone shut up. If you want to up someone's YouTube shit, don't send one DMCA that has like 20 links that you think that they've infringed on. Send 20 DMCAs with one link per DMCA. That's how you do it. You fuck their shit up. That's it. And that's basically how it goes. Okay. Anyways, apparently Jubilee did that, and then H3H3. Well, before we even get to that point, apparently Abba and Preach, you know, the two guys that would be showing up on stream right now.
What is this?
Jack and Coke, very little.
I want to get fucked up. Why would you give me Little Jack? Yeah, is Jack rum? Bourbon? Yeah, give me one shot of that.
Oh my god. It's gonna be a good night tonight. Boy, we're gonna have Richard Lewis here, and that guy's gonna drink me under the table. All right. Do you know which one of you know that's Abba and Preach there, right?
Continue.
Okay.
They got the DMCA notice.
Yeah. So Abba wants to fight it. Preach wants to just say, "F it. Let's just." That was more than a shot. Boy, tonight's gonna get interesting. Okay. So Abba wanted to fight it, and Preach just wanted to say, "F
Nice.
Take the videos down. Who gives a shit?"
Yeah.
And that's what they were gonna do. But apparently Jubilee got.
Could he do them? Or was he
So
a,
he used a
was
word
he
I
a
shouldn't
little
use, but
pussy
they got
bitch, dude? It
destroyed
would take
in
me
their comment
probably,
section of their last video. Have you seen?
I
how
want
bad
to
it is?
say,
No.
honestly, it
destroyed.
would probably
Like,
take
every
me 10
comment is
minutes
like,
to
hey,
do
how about
100
you guys,
push-ups.
like not do this
Like,
to creators.
I could do I can do like 50
Do you have that link there?
in like
The first video with
a minute or
There
two.
should be one.
But then
about-
getting
yeah,
the
there's a
second
section.
50,
Check comments of latest Jubilee
getting the
video
second
here.
50 done
Yeah, alright.
would be. I'd have to do them
Let's
in
go around
like
for you guys.
spurts of 10 every 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
So, as you'll see, I don't know if you can read those comments, but they are f***ing universally like, go f*** yourself. Taking down Abba and Preach is not the move. You're the worst. Abba and Preach should not be punished for helping this channel remain relevant. Are you all gonna copyright strike PewDiePie, Penguin Zero?
Oh, they were shitting on Jubilee, not on Abba and Preach.
Yeah, on Jubilee, basically. I don't know if these are Abba and Preach fans or if
Yeah,
these are
hell
just
yeah.
generic YouTube defenders of free speech or whatever. We're on
Probably a lot of
Abba.
Abba and Preach fans.
Anyways, apparently these guys took it back. They decided, okay, we're gonna cancel it essentially. But Ethan Klein did reach out, which is good.
Got to give a shout out. Ethan Klein, of all people, contacted me private. I said, "Oh my God, is that H3 in my DMs? Is he about to?" Nope. He was there to say, "Hey, bro, you need a lawyer for this copyright claim. I know the best in the business." I said, "Oh shit."
It's interesting to me how Ethan has become the arbiter of like React content freedom on YouTube. Like everyone's like turning to him. Didn't he have that?
The
legal
floor
defense
does
fund?
push-ups
He's, like,
on
the
you.
only YouTuber
That's
had
great.
a big, successful case in defending his content.
Yes! We won the court case! This is a landmark case, not just for us, but seriously, the wording that the judge put into the opinion is going to strengthen fair use across YouTube. This opinion by the judge is a slam dunk Kobe.
Can we rely on that for, you know, this comes back to another conversation you have. Can you actually point to that and use that for future stuff? Or is it because it didn't get appealed that we can't?
Probably kind of a little bit, yeah.
It's interesting to me. They did, I know there's the three litmus, the three tests. Of,
The four-factor test?
Yeah, of that shit. It was strange to me that, I mean, they did use a lot of it. What was it, like 70% of the original video in the critique of the Matt Haas, the Haas zone or whatever the fuck it was?
Yeah.
Seems like a
Oh,
lot.
dude, how do you
It's only
think
one
I
part of it,
fucking
right?
feel, dude?
You think
I still have the mind of a
make,
fucking 17-year-old
graphic
boy,
art,
I
just
swear to
like-
God.
I say graphic art, that sounds X-rated. I don't mean like that. If you make a picture, digital
But
artwork,
like,
if you
my
show that on your
my
screen,
fucking
is there
hair's
any
starting
way
to
that you're
thin and
always
stuff.
showing 100% of the
Like the
content?
only thing that I
Is there
still
any
have
way that
is
you can
my metabolism is still
basically
fast.
Get away with that, I guess. Like it's easy to critique a video if you only like talk about like 20% of it
Oh,
or 30% of it, and
dude.
you're obviously critiquing it. But if you're showing a piece of
Do
art,
whatever
and the
you
entirety
can to
of the
stay
art is
young,
there,
man.
that's
If
an
you
entire
smoke
one of the
cigarettes, you
steps
gotta
you're gonna
quit
lose
that
because you've shown
shit.
the entirety of the
Like,
piece.
if you
It feels
drink
like still
a
images would
lot,
be really
like,
a difficult thing to
slow
defend
down
against
if
in
you
that situation.
I have
can.
no idea.
Fucking, I'm telling
Well, thanks for
you.
engaging with the subject. At least I appreciate
Well,
that.
we can look at
Like
the
you
four-factor
get
test
to
and
your
check,
mid
but my
30s
guess
and
is
you
gonna be that
realize bro,
It's
I'm like
not
halfway
replicatable,
done
it's
with
not
my life,
replacing the original. You're not like
and
Yeah,
Well, it
if
is
I fuck
replacing
it
the
up,
original completely,
I
right?
could die sooner
well,
than
no, because
then.
like for instance,
And
if
it's
there's a nice
just like,
painting or something, I don't know if seeing that
fuck.
in like a stream is gonna be like, oh, now that I've seen that, like I'm not gonna buy the original, or now this is like
Well,
a
I mean,
replace,
if
this is a
it's-
replacement work for something else, or
I don't know if it matters if you buy it or not, right?
no, but isn't that one of the 4 factors? Is how much does it serve as a replacement for the original? I'm sure you've looked all 4 of these up, so I'm just
I have
asking a
it
redundant question.
multiple
Yeah.
times, yeah.
No.
It's one of the
Wholesome
factors. I think
laugh,
it'd be more
that's
difficult.
funny.
It
That's
seems
good,
to me like
man.
images would be more difficult. Okay, listen. So, Lycan, do we have any? It's kind of 45 minutes ish. We can
Well,
do
so
it.
okay, let's dive in a little deeper to this because I'm actually curious on what happened here. So it sounds like Avon Preach didn't get DMCA'd at all. It sounds like they got a cease and desist in the email.
Well,
That's what it
they
sounds
got
like.
multiple content ID strikes or something like that.
Content ID means that their channel wasn't struck. It sounds like what happened was Jubilee will run their programs on YouTube. You have the opportunity or the option, I think, to have Content ID auto match your videos to other videos on the platform.
Yeah.
It sounds like Jubilee finally enabled that option for either their entire channel or these videos, and that Content ID matching was hitting Abba and Preach's channel. But a Content ID match doesn't put you at any risk of any kind of like actual strike or anything. What a Content ID match will do is it'll make it so you either can't monetize the video or part or all of the monetization will go towards the original copyright holder.
They were freaking out a little bit, saying we got so many of these at once that our channel is at risk. But there's a
Yeah, but if it was only a Content ID match, then there is no risk. So that's why I'm curious. What do they actually say in the video? I didn't watch.
Okay, so fresh off the mark, I have a DM from Abba himself. He says, it's because we disputed the claims. F those guys, okay? Because we were doing fair use shit. Makes sense. And if you do that, there's a strike that comes in if you appeal, and then they were given a deadline to either delete or be given strikes
Burst
as a result of
energy.
that.
Okay.
That's direct from Abba's mouth.
Yeah, but if he's saying that, okay, if they do the filing, when you file, okay, so let me engage my serious hat for a second. So there is no such thing as an actual like official formal DMCA claim. That all of it is.
It can go to that at the last stage, but
there is nothing official. It's all like arbitrary bullshit. Nobody
On
really has any
YouTube,
idea.
yeah,
On everything. There is no such thing as like this is what an official DMCA claim or whatever looks like. Like all of it is arbitrary bullshit.
well, I don't agree, but you can continue
That's
if you
fine.
want.
I'm correct.
You're wrong. It
I'm
has
not.
a statement, it has a
guys.
signature.
I
What?
had to go get Richard. I'll be right back.
Nobody cares about that guy.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's here so early. We haven't gotten through all the drama yet.
Cringe.
He is.
Most
5 minutes
significant
early,
is
really.
Like there's like tea and crumpets in the lobby or something.
kind of rifle that
walk around looking for.
I think, at
God,
least
British
in your
people are just
favorite
like-
movie,
You know, you're
Enemy at the
wrong, by the
Gates,
way.
Vasily
DMCA has,
Zaitsev
like,
was
multiple things it has to
purportedly
do. It has to have a statement that says, like, I have a
known
good
to
faith
use
belief
to
believe
shoot
that
Nazis in the
XYZ. It has to have a
face.
signature.
Nah,
You
it's
have to
all arbitrary
identify
bullshit.
the.
It's all arbitrary
It's
bullshit.
not arbitrary.
It's like a cease and desist. There doesn't have to be like a structured format.
Also,
to it.
there's an extra hidden squirrel shit
Okay.
in there that you don't know about. Technically, you
Yeah.
can win on a DMCA dispute if they haven't registered their copyrighted piece of work with copyright with the copyright office.
It's
No,
that
that's
really
true. That
classic
That is true.
bolt
I've
action
seen that
rifle,
been the
right?
case
Gotcha.
on Eric Goldman's blog, and he's
That's
written
great.
about
Okay,
it.
that's
Legal
great.
professor.
That's not true, but okay.
It is true.
So if they were sending him when you go to file a copyright claim on
Yes.
YouTube, now the system is changing all the time. So what I'm saying might be out of date, or it might be what they currently use. I'm not 100% sure because it's been a while since I've done one of these. But when you file a copyright claim, they updated it a while ago, I think a couple years ago. So you have the option to say, I want to take this. I think you have 3 options. I think you can say, I want to take this down immediately, these guys, and strike them. Or you can do the option of, I don't want to take it down immediately. I want to give them, I think, like 1 or 2 weeks to respond. Or I think you can file a claim
Believable.
where you say, I don't want to take it down at all. I just want the ad revenue. I think you have those 3 options when you file an actual claim. Now, if you do the ones where you give them an opportunity to respond, or even if you do the one where you like get them immediately to give them a strike or whatever, the person that receives the copyright notice, they have the opportunity to counterclaim, where they can say, hold on, YouTube, this is bullshit. That's not actually copyrighted material that they own. They're lying when they say have the rights to that.
Sure.
The scary thing about doing a counterclaim, though, is the next step is court. So if somebody copyright claims to a platform, this user submitted content is copywriting infringing. It's copyright infringement. It's infringing on my copyright. And then that other person says, no, it's not. F you. The copyright infringement that the original party said is essentially like a cease and desist. And if you say, well, no, f you, well, then the only thing they can do next is like, okay, well, we're going to go to court then. I'm going to sue you for it. And now we're going to fight this in civil court. So if they did that counterclaim, that's pretty scary on their part because they're kind of big balling it. Because if Jubilee is like, okay, well, you want to do that, then fine, we're going to go to court and sue you over it. Now you've got to fight it in the litigation stages.
So a few things are if we're talking about DMCA here, first of all, if ABBA did an actual counterclaim to a DMCA, and I don't think he did, I think he was just disputing a content ID match. And then basically after that, YouTube makes a decision. And after that, then the option, it's a very complicated thing. I can send you the flow chart basically of how it goes. But when you legally dispute a DMCA, you have 10 days.
When you say disputing a content ID match.
No, I'm not talking a content ID match.
You just said that though.
I'm talking about an actual DMCA.
Okay, wait. Did you not just say ABBA was disputing a content ID match?
I think he was. I don't think it got to the DMCA.
If it's just a content ID match, then it's not even manually set. That's something that YouTube automatically does. And his channel shouldn't be facing any strikes because I've never heard of getting a strike on your channel from a content ID match.
Okay, I'm going to send you a link.
Here, this is a Jack and Coke, okay?
Oh, thanks, bro.
This guy is out of pocket right now.
You're retarded.
Nice.
That's the
I don't
problem.
drink.
I don't understand.
I don't do this shit.
I don't even do
It's
this for a
gross.
living, and somehow I know more than you do. Okay, look, I'm sending you the link. Okay, you have Discord there?
If you're sending me a link from some random law firm,
no, the
dipshit,
EFF.org. Is that okay for you? It's a flowchart of how it goes. Okay, it goes using the YouTube system. Okay, you start, you complain. Okay, then they can respond based off of that.
Which part? What am I scrolling down to?
Okay. Let's see. So you would want to go
Content ID. YouTube's content ID. A culture of fear. Wow, Dan. Okay, go ahead.
You think the EFF is just
what,
like
are you
trolling?
gonna do the George Floyd Foundation's position on content ID next? Go ahead. Oh, I got a flow chart here. Oh, that's amazing. Great.
That's for retards like you who can't actually read.
That's for retards who graduated with a degree in marketing from a liberal arts school that need to get paid to do some shit so they're not homeless. Okay, that's what this is. But okay, I'm watching it right now. Content ID file is claimed. Okay,
you have to go.
Video gets a content ID claim. I can't read the flow
listen
chart.
To me.
What?
Halfway down the page. Okay, listen. I'm
looking at. I can't read the flow chart.
No, because that's the one that
that was the main selling point of this page. Was the flow chart?
The flow chart. I'm gonna fucking kill you. Listen to me. Okay, I'm sending it to you. Okay, where here? Why am I sending this to ABBA? He already knows this because he's better than you. That's what I want you to pull up there. Lycan, you can pull this up as well. This is the actual flowchart of how shit actually works with content ID claims. Look, that's how it actually goes.
So you sent me the full website. You didn't read it. And
I did read it. I read the whole thing. Okay. When you were out there,
Jesus Christ, what is this? An electric schematic to a turbine engine? What the f is this? Okay.
This is how it actually...
Content ID claims. Okay. Which part of this do you want me to read?
feel like...
Start at the top and work your way down, and you can learn something.
I feel like that was one that you already told me.
English comics. Do I go left to right or right to left? Or top to bottom, left to... Which... Flow me through the flow chart.
Why don't you start on the left side and go from there?
Content ID claims. Select copyright owners use a tool called Content ID to claim videos, and sometimes these claims...
This right here is
N72R5.
I'm not being condescending, so the first line is already wrong. You don't have to use Content ID to claim videos. You can just file a manual claim. But that's okay. I wouldn't expect anybody at the rights to have any idea how the system works. That's fine.
Well, why would the EFF know? That's fine.
How to respond to a claim. You can choose...
Guys, sorry, real quick. Can you introduce Richard?
It's Richard Lewis. He does online content, okay?
Yes.
We know.
Video gets a content ID claim. Video creator chooses to accept or dispute. Creator can dispute. Content owner chooses to
That's in
release
Ukraine?
claim or uphold the claim. Creator can...
That's the point we're at right now with ABBA, by the way. That point right there.
Okay, but the issue is that if
no, keep going, because you're really confident.
Well, because I don't think the process is even described correctly up to this point.
It is.
Have you ever filed one of these before?
Yes.
Really? When?
Let me tell you how many DMCAs I've dealt with.
The diversion here is because he hasn't ever done any of these before.
I have filed probably over 1,000 DMCAs, and I've probably received close to 10,000.
When he says filed over 1,000 DMCAs, what he means is that he paid another company to go through some material and for them to do it themselves.
Wrong.
Oh, you did it yourself?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Walk me through the process of filing that.
It's incredibly simple.
Yeah, and tell me where Content ID becomes involved. Go ahead.
Well, you said how many copyright things have I done? Okay.
Yeah.
The way that you file a DMCA is very simple.
Yeah.
You send an email to the registered agent, which is found on copyright.gov. And then in that email that you send to them.
Wow. So what if you're trying to copyright strike?
I understand.
Hold on.
You're cutting me off. No, I got it.
So what if you try to copyright strike a YouTube video guy and you don't know what business they have, who represents them, what the registered agent is? What does that process look like, Daniel Saltman?
Okay, Stephen Bono.
Yeah, go ahead.
Retard. I'm trying to explain it to you.
I'm not retarded.
Just shut
I'm
up and listen.
Hasbara, Passover bullshit. Talk to me. Go ahead.
It is Passover, and give me the strength to deal with
apparently you passed over the 8th grade. Tell me, Dan. Go ahead. So tell me, walk me through how you filed this claim.
Then shut the fuck up and I'll tell you.
Yeah, tell me.
Okay. First off, the site that hosts the content is going to have to be registered on copyright.gov in order to have DMCA protection.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a fucking rule. Yes, you don't know that. Okay.
Wait, hold on. Wait, so the site has
wild,
to be
bro.
so like YouTube has to
The
be
service
registered.
provider, yes,
Yeah.
has to be registered on copyright.gov as a service provider. Correct.
Okay.
With the registered agent information on there.
Oh, so you're not actually emailing the person
you
that you
are.
say has violated your copyright. You're emailing YouTube.
Yeah, no shit.
okay, there we go.
There's
Okay,
a
gotcha.
platform.
You're sending an
I said
email
that to begin with,
YouTube.
but
Okay, go ahead.
it's
That's
okay that
fine.
you were like so wrong
ahead.
and now you're trying to pivot to that. That's fine.
I'm not wrong at all. Go ahead.
You're completely wrong.
I've done these before in the real world.
I've done them as well in the real world.
Doubt it.
I have. And I've
Seriously
received
doubt it.
them and I've sent them.
Really?
The
Receive
whole-
them for what? What copyright infringement are you doing?
What
I thought it was the
happened?
FBI that normally investigates the type of copyright that you infringed, Dan. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, right.
Fucking
Hit him
God.
right where it hurts. That's right. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. So you
You know, you
email.
have a nice flow
go ahead.
chart
No,
in front
that's
of you?
okay.
Do
So
you
you
have a nice
email
flow-
Susan at YouTube, and then what happens? Tell
Okay,
me.
it's copyright at YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then probably what they're going to respond to you right away with and say, hey, we have an automated form that you should do this. And then you can just respond saying, fuck you, this is a proper DMCA. And then they'll process it just like a DMCA. And
Okay.
it will skip the entire content ID. All these steps that you see there in the beginning steps there, like give the creator a chance to respond, to avoid a strike, all that shit, it goes right to the end where their only option that they have at the end there is to file a counterclaim. And the counterclaim that they can do, basically, legally what's supposed to be the case is that once ABBA, in this situation, if we got to that point, did a counterclaim, a DMCA actual counterclaim, not a content ID, but DMCA counterclaim, at that point, the onus goes back on the claimant, which would be Jubilee, and they have 10 days to file a lawsuit. And if they don't file a lawsuit within 10 days, then the copyrighted content should be restored.
Like
you say
it
that,
was
but you don't know.
right. There is an echo in here. It's just like 10 minutes for it to get from the fucking wall to my ear. That's what I
Never
fucking
heard
said.
that. You didn't
That
say
is
anything
correct.
like that.
Now, curious, in the process that you just described, I curiously, Richard, did you hear him utter the words content ID?
Yeah, because they started with a content
he didn't.
ID.
However, notice how the flow
Yeah, that'd be
chart-
crazy,
notice how
man.
the flow chart says content ID claim.
Yeah, because that's how it starts.
Now,
That
did
is
they,
the-
so the
that is
email
Do you
that
want
you
me to
sent.
explain that other part
yeah,
too?
Yeah,
If
so
you,
where
no,
does
I'll
the
explain it to you.
content
I'll
ID
explain
come
to you
in,
the
Dan?
other
Go
part.
ahead.
Okay,
Go
so if you
ahead.
start on YouTube's forum and you do it.
But you said they didn't. You said they emailed, right?
No, I'm saying that's how you should do it if you're a fucking savage.
Oh, but they
almost
didn't. You
definitely
said
did.
they sent an email, right?
I just answered your fucking question. I said they didn't. I said they did it on the fucking form. You asked me a
Oh.
third time.
Oh.
Ask me a third time if they
So
sent an
you're
email.
saying on the
no,
form.
ask me a third time
no.
they sent
so
an
you're
email.
saying on the form. Okay, so I'm curious, Dan. What is content ID?
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Mike, I need one more shot. Tell me what content ID is. I'm curious. What do you think content ID is?
There's two parts
Skill.
of
Well done.
content ID. There's
Okay.
automated matching,
Okay.
and then there's manual matching.
Oh, content identification is
dismissive shit
manually
from
matched. Isn't that weird? Why would you have to manually match a
It's-
content
it's-
ID automation system?
A content ID doesn't mean that it just found
What's
you. It
with
can,
the
it can-
charcuterie? Like, what the fuck is this?
content ID does
Fine,
not
I guess.
just mean
Trying to be sophisticated.
that I
guess, whatever.
found your shit because it matched a hash of an existing thing. It can also be like, hey, this guy's uploaded my shit and I'm going to do a content ID claim because it's my content and I fucking ID'd it. It's nothing to do with it's in the system.
Oh, it's my content ID. That's interesting. Now, that's the thing I've never heard before. August, have you ever heard that before? Does content ID refer
Is
to
August
a
here?
manual copyright? Of course he's here. He's
You know, there's
he's
a chart.
August.
Look at the chart. Okay, what I'm saying is that Jubilee went through this. It's very simple. Please open the thing, and you'll see the point that ABBA is at here with this chart. Okay, Jubilee did a content ID claim, not a fucking raw DMCA. He didn't raw dog it on day one.
You want me to use the chart? To be clear, you want me to
You
use
know,
the
just
chart?
go ahead. Why don't you just fucking
Well, no,
talk?
you want me to use the chart with the person who doesn't know how the system works, right? That's what you want me to do?
Sure. Why don't you walk
gotcha.
everyone else through it?
Okay. Content ID claim. File
This
claim.
is how he normally talks when he's not wearing his invisible
Video
line.
gets a content ID claim. Video creator chooses to accept dispute. Okay.
You know
Creator
the
can
funny
dispute.
part is how condescending he is
Content owner
as
chooses
he's
to
disputing something that the
reclaim
EFF puts out.
upload claim.
What I would say, just to interject up for a moment,
Yeah.
is I've known Stephen a long time, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yes.
And generally, more often than not, he is right about these things because he's a fucking vicious
No,
motherfucker.
wait.
You know-
Hold on,
Yeah.
wait. Are you implying that I would know information about something that could instantaneously end my fucking
Yeah,
career?
yeah, it's-
Oh my god!
It's like you have a vested
that's
interest
such a
in this.
wacky
So,
and
you know,
wild.
there's
thing.
actually a
I
unique
don't
part
know
of this
anything about
where
Yeah.
he's normally right.
Yeah.
Okay. But like,
Except when it comes to
I
me.
don't have any frame of reference because no one watches my content, so no one tries to
Oh, so
strike
you
it.
don't have a frame of reference?
I don't
That's
know.
fine. Then you're starting at the same spot that Dan is. So you guys are both. That's
I'm
fine.
correct.
So,
Oh, you know what? ABBA is saying, Dan, you're correct about this. God, I want to reach over and f***ing smash your
Oh
face
my
on the
God.
table.
Well,
if
ABBA
ABBA,
says
a
it-
much bigger, more successful, better looking, more intelligent
hold on,
YouTube creator
hold
than
on.
you,
How many
DMing me
subs-
right now
How many
saying
subs does ABBA have on YouTube?
doesn't matter. You know why?
Why?
They're a more diverse audience. You just have a bunch of incels.
My audience is so diverse.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many subs does ABBA and Preach have? Okay. Somebody give me the answer.
Isn't it like 1,000,001? Something like 1.
I know I'm correct. It's
think
okay.
it's 2.1
I can get
million.
gaslit.
2.1. There
Okay,
you go.
first of all, let's be fair. So it's ABBA and Preach. So you divide that by 2, because it's 2 of them.
That's fair.
Twice
So
as smart.
I'm closer to
They
being.
can do too many.
I'm closer to being to their sub count than it would appear otherwise. Okay, to be clear.
So you're saying to cut their sub count in half?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I can't
Because
argue
there's
with
2
that.
of them.
I can't argue with that.
Which makes
logic.
my opinion
anyways
more credible.
Good to meet you.
You know, you shit posted once, and you're like, Devin Nash and
Yeah.
Dan Saltman apparently are up to some shenanigans. I don't
Did
know
I?
what they're up to. I remember fucking everything.
They
Yeah.
probably
I believe
were
it.
up to
was.
shenanigans.
You were up to. Not really. Didn't.
There you
It was
go.
a startups.
I mean,
it was a startups podcast.
Me and Devin are pretty tight, so he might have just told me you were up to shenanigans, and
No,
then I
we
just
posted
did
it publicly.
Oh, okay, good.
They're mortal enemies.
Are they really? You got
No,
You
you
know,
and Devin,
I
you.
can't. I got some good shit. Ooh,
Why are you
good
mortal
shit.
enemies with Devin? How did he piss you off?
He doesn't believe in microwaves.
That can't be true.
Dan believes anything anybody tells him, so he probably said it at one point, and Dan
Yeah,
believed
it's a
it.
joke, and he took it literal.
Probably,
right? Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like the content
yeah.
ID shit.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how it
Yeah,
works.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like seeing how confident you are about things. And you know what? The best part is he doesn't revisit it when he's wrong. He just moves on and dismisses.
No, I will say this about Stephen. I've read, you have to absolutely fucking nail him down to get him to admit he's
You
wrong.
do.
I will say
Yeah,
that.
And
I
I'm
will
very
say that.
rarely ever wrong.
Yeah, which is
You know that,
also
so Dan has
also
a problem
true. Also true.
with alcohol, and I told Dan
I
6
can
years
stop
ago.
whenever I want to.
I told Dan 6 years ago. I was like, you know that like
Speaking of which,
Tesla
I don't
has
want to right now.
fully
Show of
automatic
friendship.
driving cars, and ever since then he's been he only buys Tesla automobiles because of the idea
Oh,
that he
yeah,
can
so
drink
he
and
can just
drive.
be drunk and-
Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
You know what?
And
Real
he's
quick,
been like an
stop.
adamant
Real quick.
supporter.
That's good.
Also,
That's safe,
he
though.
bought a Jeep for a long time. He drove a Jeep around, and he
was a
always
G-Wagon?
calls it a G-Wagon. It's a Jeep. It's a
actually
fucking
was a
Jeep.
G-Wagon?
It's a Jeep.
Yeah.
Every
What-
single time
what-
Dan
what
would
do you
pull up,
think
I
a
would expect like
G-Wagon is?
a middle-aged mom to hop out of the vehicle.
It was cool before they made it not cool. Now it's nothing but soccer.
You know the mic can't pick you up over there, right, Dan?
Right, so you were like, is this a racist thing you were doing? Were you LARPing?
Racist.
Yeah, I'm just
Wait, what are
checking.
G-Wagons racist about?
Let's just go with yes.
gangster. Is that what they are?
He's from Britain, so they have a whole other
Yeah, I don't know
thing
what the
of
fuck a
like,
G-Wagon is.
like
I
they've
thought you
got
were trying to
racial slurs
imply-
for like Pakistani people. Like we
Yeah.
just call them all the same.
I don't know.
Only
Only
in
in
space.
Doing
Yeah.
a G-Wagon low
Based.
rider
That's
kind
way
of
more funny, actually. Think
racially
about that.
insensitive vehicle
That I was-
comedy.
that I was driving in like a lowrider or
yeah,
something.
exactly.
You
You know,
would be.
it's just
Wait,
in a,
can I
like,
ask you a question?
Impala.
Why is it that you guys always sing in American English? Like,
Do we?
like yes.
I think. Well, I might have an answer for this. Reality TV poisoned our brains.
No.
American reality TV. Yeah,
Pink
no, hear me out. I'm
Floyd,
gonna
all
get
those
there.
guys, you sing in
Oh,
American English.
No.
Yes.
Pink Floyd doesn't.
Yes, you do. They
can
sing
hear
in
their-
English.
you can hear their
You can't
accent.
fucking hear an accent. Are you
can't.
fucking crazy?
You can hear an accent, a British accent. It might be a bit too subtle for the American ear, but if you mean modern singers, reality TV, American reality TV poisoned the UK brain, and all those
No.
reality shows like in Britain's Got Talent.
Do you hear what they're talking about on this right now?
They all do that.
As a vocalist and a singer, I can and somebody who went to college for vocal performance, I can tell you what they're talking about here.
Beach Boys and Beatles, back to back. You're telling me you can pick out the accent from one to the other? Beach Boys and the Beatles.
Beatles is a bad choice.
Oh my God!
Listen to
No, dude, English, Americans sing in an English accent. When you sing as an American, you don't pronounce your R's unless you're a country singer.
They're like incested, like 50
Yeah,
ways
but
to
that's not why.
Sunday.
I reckon people have been firing like radiation waves at them ever since. Like, I think
Steven,
You don't understand what they're saying? Okay, never mind
He
then.
doesn't believe that because he doesn't believe in
He doesn't
microwaves.
believe in
but-
that. That's true.
Oh,
Also,
Dan believes. Get this, okay? Dan believes.
hold on, sorry. It's because I believe in journalism.
Hold
He
on,
doesn't
hold on.
get it, but that's fine.
Dan,
Go ahead.
Can you
Yeah.
grab me? I left something in the corner of that room.
No.
Can you just f***ing go over there? Okay. So Dan believes that Russian agents drive around to American embassies in f***ing Cuba.
Oh, that Cuban
and shoot
syndrome
radiation.
shit?
Yeah,
He believes
and
it.
he 100%. He
Oh,
absolutely
bro, come on.
fucking believes it. Hook, line, and sinker.
You don't really though.
He
No, it's
absolutely
about
does.
singing in
Let me
English.
put it this way. You know what I believe? I believe that you had 3 very credible journalistic organizations that all put their name behind the fact that this was happening.
I mean, journalism's in a real good place these
Well,
days.
I mean, that's all I have to go
This
from.
guy's a journalist, by the way, so he automatically.
And the difference between between an English accent and an American accent
So I automatically defeat
gets
you.
Gamergate, so you can't really
gets
tweet
lost
Gamergate.
Yeah, we were there.
You're just
in
absolutely
pop
destroyed.
music.
It's just like,
You're like,
Because
it's not enough for me to hate women.
you
I
don't
need to
say
make
your
everyone
R's
hate
like
Have
Americans
erectile
do.
dysfunction. It's time.
Jesus.
Deploy the
You say
Gamergate.
"aw"
Yeah.
instead of
You were there, you were on that podcast.
like car.
erectile
It's like
dysfunction, though.
my
Yeah,
car
about it, but, you know,
instead
I'll
of
come
my
to that.
car.
I'll come and make
And
peace with it.
Destiny
Well,
thinks
we're
that
not coming at
British
all,
people
apparently.
sing in an American accent when it's really
What's wrong
American
with
people
ED?
sing in an English accent.
Yeah, soft dick coming's possible, dude.
Holy shit.
Yeah, just so
A
you
whole
know.
new world is
Could you
opened
imagine
up to you.
coming with a soft? That's fucking insane.
Yeah, it's doable.
Is that a gift?
Or a curse. I mean, you
Yeah, I don't know what the benefit on that one is.
It's like a thing.
You like that?
Imagine if you had to take like a really big shit, but you didn't pee at all, like while you did it. That's just like usually they go together.
That is
Imagine
true,
coming
yeah.
without like having an erection.
Yeah.
I feel like there's like a hidden potential there that is unexplored.
I would have thought you've done so much, you know, fucking these days. Like, it must have happened to you once. You must have been able to squeeze a
come
soft one
without
out.
being
yeah,
erect?
like, because you know you have a scale of erections. Like, it's just
Yeah,
being,
absolutely
Yeah,
you
yeah.
do.
You have really good ones. You could like crack bricks over, like in a Shaolin monk movie, and then you have the fucking level 1, 2 erections that aren't that impressive, but you can kind of thumb them in and get the business done.
Absolutely.
So, like, basically the soft one is below a 1 or a 2. Like, it's right down.
Fucking
right
hell,
down.
bro.
So it does happen. I'm just saying, I can't believe it's never happened to you now that you're
You
a
ever
top
see?
Kuma.
Why do you have porn star guys who have like soft dicks? You ever see that?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
What do
What?
you mean soft dicks?
I find that on porn, I don't even think it's because I'm a part faggot. I think it's because when I watch porn, like literally, the dick is really important because
Well,
sometimes they're
that's me
actually
cancelled.
sometimes
This is it,
wait.
right.
Sometimes there's partly
Few
soft,
drinks.
and it's like if you're not even into it, how the fuck am I supposed to get into it? You know what I mean? You're not ready for this conversation.
I
It's
don't-
because you're married. I understand.
Yeah, that's the reason.
I'm
that
recently
I'm not ready for
divorced, so
this.
I'm free to. Be
No.
wild.
This is also why
this
your
show is over.
Yeah, your cooming is great.
Oh yeah.
You can go out there.
It certainly doesn't
you can lay
have
pipe,
any
you know.
negative effects for anyone around you
That's
either.
okay. Check your Discord. I linked you a flow chart for erections. Okay, it's really important. Okay,
Yeah.
I need you to check that out.
I would not imagine. I would not doubt that you have one of those. That's how wild it fucking is. Jesus Christ.
Anyway, where were we at?
I don't know. We were supposed to watch something with Ethan. Did you ever? Who the fuck is Peter Curtin?
Wait, hold on.
Yeepers,
Oh, this is not a good idea for you,
Let me just
Steven.
finish it.
Peter Curtin was a guy who was a huge serial killer, and in his diary he talked about the pleasures of coming without an erection.
There you go. See. Now it's worrying that
yeah,
the
but
one
he was
person
doing it
we know
while
about it on
killing.
record, apart from me,
Okay, but, like,
is
did
a
he
serial
actually-
killer. But like,
okay.
Was it just for the novelty of it, or did it feel good?
Well, it was when he killed.
Why are you talking to the microphone like Dan does? Point it to your f***ing mouth.
I'm close enough, and I don't want to. You know what?
Yeah, you're good.
Watch it
It's
now.
not like Dan speaks into it properly, so if you move it, it doesn't
Well,
matter.
anyway, he would do
By
it
the
while
way,
killing
the
children, and
It's Australian.
and he
You
says
can't
it-
have two separate conversations,
Sorry. Yeah,
okay?
we can-
No, because the audience just hears one. They're getting confused.
Well, I
so
can
hold on,
switch.
wait.
Sorry,
say
go.
your thing, and then you can say your thing to Dan. Go
It's,
ahead.
well, it's pointless now. Point is, dude
But,
liked to come in his
why you
pants
gotta
when he
be
killed
like
people. Like,
this?
it happened. As soon as he murdered, he'd come in his pants, and he said it was the greatest feeling in the world.
I feel that way with some of my haters. I think I would come in my pants, but I can't vibe because I think I would be erect while doing it.
Yeah, also true.
Okay. Well, wow. Right here, Lycan.
You're on, baby.
Hey, did you enjoy this? Did you know? Stop! Move out of the way! Did you know that there's probably another hour and a half of this content that you're not getting on this YouTube thing? Yeah, that's because August, our YouTube editor, hates you, and he doesn't want you to see the whole thing. This VOD is paywalled, and the only way you can get it is by subscribing to our Patreon at patreon.com/anythingelse, or you can go to anythingelse.gg, and from there, I mean, I guess you can click the link to go to Patreon. Anyways, that's it.
Wait.
Anything else, Steven?
Yeah. What else is on the
No.
document?
No, they're saying anything else? Anything else,
No.
Richard?
Do we have more to talk
No.
about? Sometimes I wish Dexter was about a YouTuber that got to confront his haters in real life.
And the DMCA them?
You would be murdering them.
Okay, murdering them like
God,
the
that would
DDoS
be
kid.
fucking awesome.
You know what's so strange to me? Of all the shit that you get shit on over the years,
Yeah.
wanting to kill someone who is fucking DDoSing you is like so low on the fucking totem pole.
I
but
know.
it
I
gets
can't
brought
believe
up all
people
the
keep
time.
bringing.
Who
That's,
gives
yeah.
a shit?
I was obviously we were
many
we
kids-
were still doing shit around about that time, right? Like when you were getting DDoS by that weird.
I don't know if I'd known you yet, actually. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I think it was just I might have been doing the other podcast with Cham, and it might have been pre-unfiltered. And I remember like saying like, yeah, this is like, I get it. Like I get why he's so fucking angry.
Obviously.
You know.
But people lose their mind. They're like, Steven, how could you want to kill this kid? It's like, I want to kill like half the population. That fucking
Jesus
pisses me off.
Christ.
All
Well,
right,
because you're
Thanos.
Jewish.
Thanos, I
Yeah.
guess, yeah. Well,
Oh,
okay.
thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah, for throwing that out there, just, in case.
You're
Not
the
really.
one that fucking said it. You're
Said
giving
what?
away the whole fucking plot. You want to kill half the population. What, the
All
white
right, you know what?
population? The only people that can
Moving
stand
forward,
against your
I think
fucking
I
movement?
like the idea that I'm the only one that drinks on this show, actually.
It's not even real alcohol. He's trolling.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit.
And
We all know Steven doesn't drink.
Richard Lewis, can you introduce yourself? Who the fuck
I'm
are you?
Richard Lewis. I'm a esports journalist. I'm down here in
Recovering alcoholic.
well, not really.
Okay.
I haven't recovered
You know, he
yet.
actually had problems with alcohol. You insensitive.
I do. That's why I said
Yeah.
it. 'Cause
So
a lot of
why
people are
would
like,
you
hey,
make
are you going to
jokes
be
about it?
drinking there?
No, I mean, the problem was just doing it in the wrong places around the wrong people. Really, like
Yeah,
the chemicals fine. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Like if I drink around people that I can beat the shit out of, it gets really ugly really fast.
That's got to be a really small audience of, like, what?
Quite literally.
Just every woman,
Children
basically. Women and
4-year-olds.
children, yes. And you, Dan.
30-year-olds that are deep.
I would fucking annihile. If we got into a real life fight, Dan, God, I would just take out
You don't
every
even
every
carry.
stupid
You don't
fucking
even carry. It would be
I
over
don't
for
need
you.
to carry. You would be trying to pull your pistol like, oh, and I would just be like
No,
wailing
you'd be
on
like
you.
this.
No, not even. Oh
That's
my
exactly
God.
how you fight.
You
I
would
know
think
it.
that, and you'd
If
be
I
on the
can-
ground.
Yeah.
If I can bring it back to what you were talking about, I think when I turned up.
Yeah.
Oh, about how
Yeah,
Jews.
no,
Not the Jews,
We'll
no.
get into Israel, Palestine, I'm sure, in a bit.
I'm not sure.
But,
Please
Oh,
no.
DMCA.
yeah,
What?
the DMC
Lycan?
thing.
I said, please no.
Yeah, I don't know. It's time, I think.
We can't talk Israel Palestine
yeah,
because
yeah.
these guys, Lycan thinks that Israel should be destroyed as a state.
I
and
don't.
Dan gets
Yeah.
half the
Stop.
funding.
No,
You
he was
can't
saying that
put-
to me the other day. Actually.
Yeah, I
Like,
get
Stop.
80% of my funding
Guys, you
from Israel
can't put that out there.
He's so fucking
He
mad.
was
Oh my
literally
God.
saying he almost regrets serving in the military because he just feels he's a proxy for
Exactly, because
Israel.
when you're in
That's
the
what he
U.S. military, you're basically serving at the behest of.
That's what
Israel.
He said.
The
And
Jews.
I was like, I don't know, it's
Yeah.
kind of a bit anti-Semitic, really. Where's it coming from, bro?
That's wild.
And I was like, what the fuck? But
Yeah.
you know, it shocked.
Dan only
it
went to
shocked
the
me.
Coast Guard. Dan wanted to do the Navy initially, but he's like, well, fuck. The USS Liberty, are Israel going to have to kill more American sailors intentionally for no f***ing reason?
Yeah.
Like, maybe I should just do the Coast Guard instead. So
No one,
I
no one
vibe with
goes
that.
after the Coast Guard. They don't-
Exactly.
We're just ocean police.
Exactly.
And gardeners.
God, I
Pirates.
hate you.
Call it pub
I bet you
pirates.
turned away so many of my brave people.
Yeah, I've seen what you
Not
call
me.
gardens in
I'm-
Palestine.
My ancestors are Cuban, so they had to try to get
I
here.
wasn't in Florida.
Yeah, I know.
through him.
I was
through
in New
his
Orleans.
people.
I did nothing.
New Orleans? Who the fuck comes in through New Orleans?
Rednecks.
Coast Guard? What are you even doing down there?
Mexicans.
Fighting off Kanye
You know what
West
they call you
mean
in
comments
Cuba?
about
They
George
call you
Bush?
raft sinkers.
True.
Fucking
Yeah,
Coast
because we
Guard
just fucking
scumbags.
machine gunned down.
Oh, I
That's
didn't have
Probably-
enough
you probably have
fucking
pictures of
beta
Boris on a fucking
energy.
boat as you fucking
She was on the
gunned
boat.
down.
Yo, she was on the
She
boat.
was the training officer.
Automatically,
the automatic flare gun.
My
too, taking
fucking
them down.
God,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
She was among the best of us, honestly.
I bet she was.
She was doing
got a
training.
medal, right?
Leave it to a Canadian
she
to
did-
teach Americans how to do real racism.
It's not because of that. It's because the automatic flare gun is a Canadian thing, and she was well trained on it, and we weren't. And they brought it down. This was new. I mean, this was early 2000s, and like this is a new thing. So it was fine. But no, really, I did nothing. I was a gardener, basically, in the Coast Guard. That was my service.
He mowed some crazy lawn.
Not that crazy.
Wait. Have you ever owned a house before?
Nah, dude, I'm poor.
Okay, hold on. Wait.
Don't make
You
money.
have a house.
I do.
Oh, but it doesn't
Kinda
count
told
for
him.
you, okay?
I've had houses
no,
with big lawns.
Let
I've lived other places.
I want to tell you about the struggle, okay?
I've been poor, but that's
No,
fine.
no.
Go ahead.
It's not about being poor.
Okay. I want to know what struggle
He's talking
it
about the
is.
struggle about maintaining a garden.
No.
I've had a lawn.
Hold on. I'm talking about
3 acres.
not having a fenced-in lawn and living next to some old Social Security supported fuck who has nothing to do with his day beyond maintaining the most perfect Kentucky bluegrass fucking lawn in the world. And every single time you go out to mow your lawn, because as you're a lazy fucking American, that's all you do, he's like out on his fucking porch watching you, judging you, laughing at you. I had my rear neighbor, the guy behind me, this guy, he must have had nothing else to do with his free time besides going out to his backyard with scissors, perfectly maintaining this fucking garden. If I ever went back to my house, I would poison this fucker's grass. I know he did his whole yard.
Why?
With
He
like
takes so much joy in
yeah,
it. Why do
but
you want to
then,
hurt him?
because then when I'm mowing my yard, I look like a dick, and I look like a loser, and I look like I'm not taking enough care of my
You
grass.
weren't. You
yeah,
weren't.
compared to this guy who has his whole life is invested.
You know what he was?
What? He's
Normally
a
the
fucking
expression
loser.
is that the grass is greener
He's
on the
a
other side.
loser.
He's like, the grass isn't greener.
It's not
on the
on
other
his
side.
lawn.
I was going to
Oh
say he
my
was giving
God.
you PTSD by describing your service to you right now, but I mean,
No,
you know,
I-
thought that was a much more
my
sophisticated thing to
military
go for.
service was like a bunch of fucking, I don't know, it was very strange because you think that, you know, when you join, first off, you don't have any say.
Yeah.
At least when in the Coast Guard, at least after you go through basic training, you don't have any say where they station you. You
Yeah.
could be on a fucking boat, you can be in Alaska, I just got lucky and I got New Orleans, stationed New
Oh,
Orleans.
that's nice.
And what was surprising to me is that all the people that was stationed with were fucking, like, ultra rednecks. Like everyone was from Kentucky, Louisiana, Alabama, the whole fucking thing. And these guys, their fucking life was made because they were all like E4, E5, E6 for ranks.
Right.
And they're like, "Hey there, Hebrew. I
Wait,
ain't
can
never
you
seen
tell
one
us-
of you
what is
around
that?
these parts before. Why don't you go down there, clean that boat?"
What is
And I was-
E4? Can you explain? Because that sounds like Doom levels. What is E4, E5, E6?
it's like the rank that you have. You come in.
What rank did you get up to?
Well, I got up to E2.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When you get up to E2, they just give you an Israeli
That's
flag.
that's called
That
fire. I was a fireman apprentice.
A fireman apprentice.
Yeah. It was very hard to exceed and excel in that very challenging environment where they enjoyed fucking with you. And I
Okay.
wasn't.
What is fireman apprentice? Are you like polishing the poles that they slide down? in
No,
the...
fireman is like so they have a bunch of terms. The two main ones are seaman and fireman. Yeah, seaman I know you know, but no. The difference is that the fireman was mostly like a kind of support role, like mechanical, meaning you would do stuff like fixing engines and
What engines did you fix?
well, we had 41-foot
lawnmowers.
we had those too. They weren't 41 feet. We had 41-foot boats. We had a ribs with the whole thing. And basically, as a fireman, your job is to basically be a fucking mechanic. Like most people come out of the military and they're pretty well suited to, like, you know, go work.
Talk to me about one engine you fixed.
You understand that I said I was E2. You want to know one engine I fixed?
Is the engine E1? What is the engine fixer?
You don't get. I don't get to do that. I get to watch. I get to fucking go in there and clean up the oil.
Talk to me about an engine that you watched get fixed.
Like I watched a lot of stuff happen.
When did you graduate from the military? I want to know what years I was working with my tax dollars being wasted on you
All
not
right.
even remembering
That's
the fucking engines you were watching being fixed.
Because I wasn't watching them. I was cleaning the bilge. I was fucking.
What is a bilge?
It's the bottom of the boat where all the oil and the water mix.
Gunk builds
Like
up
on the
down there.
outside or the inside?
The inside.
Inside.
That's awesome.
It's not awesome. It fucking sucks.
But you could have died.
You never-
Hold on. Like, and if you ever play that fucking pipe goddamn thing again, I'm gonna dox the fuck out of you. People are gonna find your dog and they're gonna kill it.
I know his real name.
All right, alcohol is done for Steven.
Thank you. No, the pipe sound is done. Lycan? Hold on. Can you let Richard speak? He's our guest. Richard, what do you think about?
Why is this shit not working, man? Come on.
Yeah, I know. I think it's kind of interesting that even in the military, he was kind of a bit of a cuckold. Like he was watching other soldiers do.
Why do I get to be the cuckold?
Because
in
you're
this
the one watching. That's how that works.
I
Right?
wasn't watching. I was
You
doing the
said you
real
were.
work.
You just said you were.
No, I didn't even get to watch. They were like, Dan, go in there and clean the fucking bilge, and that's what I did. And then they're like, go cut the lawn, and I cut the
Meanwhile,
lawn.
the bull is upstairs fixing the lawn.
Yeah, they're doing
fixing
fucking
the
like
engines, right?
badass
I get
shit.
it.
They're like,
Can you tell
rebuilding
us like
engines.
the coolest thing you did in the Coast Guard?
I got pepper sprayed.
Okay, not for training and not for you trying to sexually assault a woman. Give us like a cool thing that you actually did.
Well, one of those things was true.
Did
but-
you? Okay, I didn't know you did no training, but okay. Can you just tell us like a cool thing you did? There must be one drug bust. There must be one crazy yard that had crazy hills. There's got to be something, Dan. Just one. Make it up. Make a story up, please. Make a story up.
We rescued a lot in they were
Give me
not-
one cool rescue.
Okay, well, we were based on Lake Pontchartrain, and that's, I think, one of the biggest lakes in, it's
Lake
one of the
Lake Pontchartrain?
Pontchartrain.
Pontchartrain?
Sounds Indian.
Sounds racist.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, you're on the Poncho
yeah,
train.
a little bit.
Okay, so who did you save?
It's
Or
one
did
of the
you watch
longest.
get saved?
It's got one of the longest bridges. It's the causeway that goes across. I think it's 32 miles or something.
Okay.
Anyways, people were they get drunk and they crash their boats, which seems crazy to me because, like, what do you even crash into? But of all the shit to crash into, it's like you got a whole ocean and they crash it into the fucking bridge. So I don't know. We rescued a lot of people, like retards.
Did you?
Mostly. Oh, I forgot.
What?
Most of what my job was I answered the fucking phone calls of these people. Like you could call the Coast Guard station and be like, and I'd be like, hello, Fireman Saltman here. How can I help you? And they'd be like, help, my boat's sinking. And I'm like, well, sir, where are you located at? It's like, I don't fucking know. I'm near the bridge somewhere. And then we would have to go and look for
Holy
it.
shit, you're
And
like a mall cop of the ocean.
I was a mall cop of the ocean,
That's
but not
awesome.
even the cool part.
But you
I was
took,
like in the office.
but you took those calls.
I did take the call.
Why
And there
are
were
there so
people-
many rednecks at sea?
Because it's fucking Louisiana,
Yeah,
bro.
there were a lot of.
Like, what the fuck?
I feel like if I went to
everyone on a boat
Louisiana
down
right
there?
now,
How
I
do you
would be the
think they,
governor
what
in
did
like
rednecks
5
do? They
days.
fish. How do they fish? They need boats.
There's no smart people in Louisiana.
Well,
That's not true. Dan,
is
you were in
true.
Louisiana.
I wasn't smart when I was there.
I don't co-sign that statement.
Like, listen, those are the dumbest motherfuckers I've ever met have been down there. I swear to God,
Okay.
if I went back there, I would be president of Louisiana. in
It is
a month.
like it is another world when you go down there to
Yeah,
Louisiana.
no, I've been to New
Like when you
Orleans.
go into the South, like Georgia, Louisiana, Alabama.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, but the people down there.
Well, I had a great time when I was living in Georgia.
You would have a great time because you're basically like the smartest guy
No.
in the entirety of
No.
the
They would
of
be
the
so
state.
impressed
No,
with
I-
your accent too.
They would probably.
They did like that. They
You
did
could
like the
probably
accent,
tell them
yeah.
that you're like King George, and they would actually believe you.
Yeah.
They literally would.
They would.
They would.
Well, not true to my experience. I found a lot of very genuinely kind and intelligent
Oh, he's a
and
fucking
skilled
America
people.
simp. Oh my God.
Well, we are the
Skilled
best
people.
country.
We are true.
Yeah,
That is
it's
true.
like bar none. No
Can you
one
tell
comes
us,
close.
wait, what are the top 3 reasons why America is better than
The
Everyone.
UK?
Yeah.
Or
No,
just
everyone in general.
Better than everyone.
everyone in general? Yeah, but especially the UK.
Entertainment industry.
Unwavering support for Israel.
True.
That's number one.
we don't
That's
have,
number one.
We don't have Corbyn.
Second Amendment.
So, true.
Guns.
My God, that's so true.
And a steadfast refusal to acknowledge climate change. All 3 of those
Also
things.
true.
Why
Yeah.
is that so weird? I don't know why that became the Republican sticking point. Is it just because there's so many Republican
Because
donors?
who the fuck cares? Why do I want the
No, I
Democrats
think-
telling you what I can fucking drive?
No, it's not that. They don't
Just,
believe it. Has
hey,
to be because they're of the Koch brothers,
Just
right?
move. How many people
What
are
is
like,
that? What are you talking about?
hold on. How many people are like, oh no, it's too warm? What? Everybody wants to go to Florida because it's warm. What if we can make it warm further north? That would just be better for everybody.
I have nothing to say. That is f***ing wild.
Name one thing wild about that. Go. Debate.
Do you think if it got warmer in Maine, it would be the same temperature in Florida?
Hold on. Counter question. Do you
Yes.
think people in Maine like the winters?
Yes, some of them do.
Notice how he has
They
to
do.
answer.
Some of them do.
Notice
They're
how,
weird. I don't know
Lycan, you're
what
not
to
here.
say.
Lycan, what's the camera on? This one? Notice how he couldn't answer the question because he was
I don't think it's on
instantaneously.
that one.
We're gonna call you Dan Sneeko, okay? But that's what we're gonna call you from now because you just got obliviated by that question.
Oh, that's the Harry Potter thing.
No, it's
You know,
not.
I was in the.
That's
it
a
is.
fulcrum thing.
You were in Harry Potter.
Obliviate.
He was Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling had an idea for a second character. They called him Jewish Stein.
I'll take
but for
a-
some reason it didn't make
I'll
it
take
over
a
the.
Scotch.
Wasn't there
Cheers.
a
Thanks, man.
scandal
Appreciate that,
with
Lycan, bro.
J.K. Rowling where she made all of the banker dudes look slightly Jewish? or
Oh,
something?
I've talked about this before.
Yeah.
I went. I see. As a Star Trek fan, I already went through this with the Ferengi. I actually got marked
Oh,
down.
that's another one too.
I got marked down for this at university because my professor was like a big fucking Star Trek fan.
Yeah.
And I basically wrote an essay. We had to do an essay about Deep Space Nine and Star Trek because that's just what he set on the course. You know, when you're like a tenured professor, you can just set any old bullshit basically. And
Can
no
they
one says
really do
anything.
that? Can they go?
Sure.
They can go
Well, I
ham
mean, to be
wild?
fair, it was also a bullshit degree. It was a
yeah.
media studies and journalism degree. So,
Sure.
you know, I was just...
Oh shit! That's the person that made our flowchart had the degree.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah. It was, he even said at the bottom, like...
He's so wrong and he's so confident while being wrong.
But anyway, so he was talking about how Star Trek was really, really progressive as a piece of media. And so I wrote an essay countering that claim by using the Ferengi and talking about
that's a good
how,
piece.
you know, they're all like the fucking, look like the Happy Merchant cartoon. It's fucking gross.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're obsessed with the accumulation of wealth. It's like, it's ridiculous. And it's so transparent, by the way. And what makes it worse, they were actually played by Jewish actors in the show.
Really?
Yes. And so I wrote all of that. That was an F. He gave me an F.
What a
said I
motherfucker.
didn't understand Star Trek. I would never understand Trek.
You know
well,
what,
he's fucking dead now, Dan.
Well, I was gonna say what you should do is
So,
you should
fuck him.
send this VOD to him, but instead
Can't.
send it to his daughter.
I'll harass his widow.
Exactly.
Seems to be the play.
Look who's ahead now.
That's what
bitch.
journalists like to do these days. They harass widows.
Yes.
So,
Well, you know, it's a winning strategy at the end of the day.
winning hearts and minds.
What's a winning strategy?
Harassing spouses.
True.
Okay.
Anyway, what I wanted to bring back,
Yes.
we're going to go full circle.
Give it to me.
So, the DMCA thing, and I'm not talking specifically about ABBAs, but I have seen a bunch of videos about that.
Wait, real quick. Are we talking about actual DMCA, or are we talking about like what Dan says?
Yeah. Well, forget content ID for now. I think. I think we should shelve the very complex world of content
That's fine.
ID.
Okay, go ahead. So we're talking about DMCA, yeah.
Yeah. So one thing I do want to kind of acknowledge is, though, I know a lot of like YouTubers, they all act like the fucking sky's falling when they get DMCA, but is it not kind of the meta to make content about the DMCA struggle a lot of the time? Like every time I watch a YouTuber when they're blowing up, it's always like them in the thumbnail looking really sad and like my channel's about to get obliterated. Yeah. And then it just seems to play out and it's a normal DMCA process.
You think does he look sad?
I mean, I can't tell there. That's a really bad freeze frame.
Is it a bad freeze frame?
Yeah, because his eyes are rolling up in his head. It looks like he's walking.
That's the guy in the Preach? Doesn't that look like...
I talked to that guy on the right before.
Preach looks
multiple times.
Wait, stage right or video right? Stage right is from the perspective of the actors. Video right? Oh, ABBA.
Yeah, I've talked to him
Comes on my chat a lot and talks to me.
Oh, yeah, me too. We're good friends.
Well, he talks to me more than you.
He's actually been messaging with me during the show.
He DMs me a lot more, actually. He actually DMs me a lot of stuff.
No, I don't think so.
All of his personal hopes, dreams, fears, aspirations.
So again, I'm not talking specifically about ABBA, but I am talking about the way content creators use DMCAs to drive engagement. I just wondered if you had any thoughts about that.
Yeah, Dan, what do you think about that?
Be interested.
What Dan has, Dan has almost no original thoughts. It's actually insane.
Could you give him
that is like slightly hurtful.
Slide him like some cliff notes.
The problem is that I haven't talked about this on stream yet, so Dan doesn't know the contrarian opinion to take yet.
Okay, yeah,
but Dan, why don't you go ahead and tell us your thoughts?
It's gonna be really rough because I haven't already heard what to say. So I'm gonna have to.
Do you want to take a wild guess?
I'm gonna wing it.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna go wild,
like you did with that flowchart.
So do you know? You probably don't know this. Do you know who the Dylan dude is? Who like went to Ukraine? What's his name? Dylan Burns.
Dylan Burns.
Oh yeah, I mean I heard of him, but I mean I
put
don't
some
know
respect
him.
on that name. Okay.
Anyway, so Dylan Burns has one of his channels perma from YouTube.
Right.
And he's been bitching and moaning about it forever. And I typed him up a long response, and I was like, listen. You ain't getting the shit back. You know, you're not getting it back specifically for the reason that you've appealed and been denied, and then done the second appeal and been denied. You're not getting it back just because if YouTube did give it back to you, there'd be like a million other channels that would come and be like, hey, what's going on here? Where's the third appeal at? So that's never going back to you. So the whole thing that you should do is that you should basically go make a new channel and hope that you can basically ride the fucking train. Be like, hey, YouTube fucked us. We had to make a new channel. You know, ride the wave of new subs.
Can you just go and do that if you get a channel nuked?
Well,
can you just
you're not banned.
Wait,
right.
You're demonetized.
Is he responding at all to your question right now?
Not really, no.
Okay.
I am.
He's getting there.
No, but I think he's gonna get there.
I think he thinks in flowcharts.
Yeah.
So he's flowing.
I'm
trying to.
We're very
let him.
wait,
God, I'm literally.
Go ahead.
I am following conversation. So the whole point behind this is that he can essentially make content like YouTube fucked us. We had to start over and then benefit that into basically launching an entire new channel that gets blessed with the algorithm because he gets a ton of subs all at once.
But what I was kind of talking about were the ones where their channel's never really at threat. Do you know what I mean? It's like, or it maybe is, but then it's always going to get resolved. And I just feel like every big YouTuber I've seen, they always have this weird moment where my channel's about to get obliterated. It's an existential crisis. They make like 8 videos about it. They gain a ton of followers, Reddit threads.
Do they really get a lot of followers?
Yeah, because the thing is, people like to rally against fundamental unfairness, which is why Israel has no support.
True. Absolutely true.
Can you sit up in your fucking chair? No more. You know, I asked for this in the past.
Why
for
are you
him
looking
to be
at the
drinking.
camera? Look at us. You're talking to us right now.
I asked for you to be drinking
we're on this
in the
side
past,
of the table.
and this
You're getting fucking gangbanged.
I've seen Stephen in a worse state than this.
Richard Lewis just destroyed you.
Yeah, with facts and logic.
With facts and logic. My God, I didn't know you were a college student getting railed by Ben Shapiro, but that's what I just watched right here. Holy facts and logic.
Boom. Are you
going to counter him?
That time at Breitbart paid off big time.
It did pay off.
This is a
Breitbart journalist. I know that, right?
Knowledge there. Yeah.
Well, they have offices in Israel.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
You have to study your enemy. Obviously, that's like
no. I would go so far as to say I think you can certainly make an argument for Breitbart being a racist publication because they did have an entire tab at one point dedicated to black crime statistics, which is that's the ultimate dog whistle, isn't it? But I mean they have offices in Israel. I never really saw anything anti-Semitic there. My boss was Jewish.
Damn.
What did you think of him?
Milo.
Wait, Milo. Wait. Milo is fucking Jewish?
Yeah, well, I know he says he doesn't like Jewish people now, but so whether he was LARPing or not, like, because Milo was like such a habitual liar, you never really know what's true and what isn't. Like,
just
he's
like him.
He's also renounced his homosexuality.
Just like him.
But I definitely saw him with guys, so who fucking knows?
Just like him.
Yeah, exactly, right.
There's pictures floating around of Dan and Mr. Mooten having a fucking saucy
Mr.
makeout.
What happened to him?
After he fucking made out with Danny, he had to disappear from the internet.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Is he actually still around?
The problem is that the Mossad knows that their strongest warriors have to be heterosexual, so they had to take Mr. Mooten out of the picture.
What really happened to Mr. Mooten?
I'm
Come
serious.
On, fill me in, because I ducked out from your orbit.
The answer is he got married like a loser, and then had a wife like a loser, and is doing like
those
real
two
world
things
stuff.
usually do go together.
Yeah, like a
true.
loser.
Yeah.
And now he's
I'm
living a
not married
happy
yet.
life. He's made it out. Okay?
Okay.
We're like the guys that are like still in prison, and he's like on the other side, and we're like, good for him.
Yeah,
But really, we're like, fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him. He's a pussy.
Yeah, fuck him. Fuck that guy.
How dare he quit the life?
Exactly.
How dare he quit the life?
He could be f***ing men
He had
getting
that
fucked.
tattoo on his back, said he was down forever.
Exactly.
I'm going to
And he
sand
probably
that
got
off.
True.
First
If he
chance I
comes
get.
back in, we are gonna stand it off.
Good.
And we're gonna come on him with flaccid dicks.
Yeah. As we
Because
stand
to
it.
prove that like we're coming on you for disrespect, but we're
Yeah,
not even turned
it's not
on
even
from
sexual.
it. We're not even turned
no,
exactly.
It's not even sexual. You're
God,
gross.
fuck, that's such a power move.
Yeah, we
Holy
should do
shit.
that. That's the ultimate alpha coming
It
with
is
the
the
soft
ultimate
dick.
alpha coming with a flaccid dick. I'm gonna try this
You
so
watch, by
hard.
the way, Andy Tate's going to be promoting this in,
It will be.
inside
Yeah.
of a month. Like,
you should be making children with flaccid dicks.
Yeah. Sneeko
Fuck.
will be out there, guys.
Exactly.
I've got the new tech.
And he's gonna be like he's got his face like he does this all the
By
time.
the way, when we did our podcast yesterday, I didn't know you'd come straight from talking to fucking Sneeko down to do the podcast, because I watched that clip last night when I got
I
back.
didn't know
wild
either.
shit,
That
huh?
was fucking wild.
Why do people who feel strongly about the age of consent never say the age they think is the
I
right
just
age?
think
They
that
never do it.
Sneeko, I think personally he really likes having like testicles emptied into his asshole, and so he comes on to conversations with me because he's like, I haven't fucked in so long. And he comes to me, and I'm like, I'll fuck you, babe, if that's what you really want.
I just think all those guys are sad. Like, I see like Sneeko and Aiden Ross and people, I just see them as like the same person. Like, they're just basically like they've acquired a lot of fame and notoriety by sort of pandering to the type of audience they are, but they really need like strong male mentors, and they won't admit it to themselves. They're just really like lost and alone and afraid. I think Nick Fuentes is like that too. I think a lot of what he does is a fucking LARP. I think these are just lonely guys who are too like scared to say, you know, we need like we're looking for someone positive, and the best we can fucking do is like Jordan Peterson or something.
He really dresses well, Jordan Peterson.
Oh, I mean, yeah, when he's dressed like Harvey fucking Two-Face out of the comics, it's embarrassing, isn't it? Like,
What?
you know.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
That's a fucking sick look.
I think between that and tweeting the Chinese milking on by accident,
yeah,
I think like he
had
surrendered
some-
a lot of credibility.
He's
on the
had some
internet, you know.
mistakes, no doubt. Okay, no doubt. But
It's all kicking off over
You
here.
need to drink
I
some.
better have some water.
Drink
bro.
some of that water.
Yeah.
I feel like there was something. Hold on, I got a lot of. Is there any August messages here? Okay, no, good. What?
God,
Why
he's
is
so
it that? Why is it that
annoying.
Ethan won't be friends with you? He hates Hassan now.
Who says he's not friends with me?
He's not friends with you. We know that.
We talked one time.
Yes.
He's probably scared.
Why? He
that
doesn't
if
need to
I
be.
have
We're
friendships,
like his best friends.
You don't
It's
know that.
become an insanely unpopular opinion, but I actually like Ethan.
I do too.
Yeah,
I've been a fan since day one.
I think.
Obviously.
I gotta say, I think. While there's definitely been some not so great episodes of the podcast, like the Bill Burr kind of debacle, I will say I think it's fundamentally unfair to, if you're a fan of somebody and they try and pivot and do different types of content, if you dogpile them for you not liking that content, I think you're kind of a piece of shit. And I always felt it was like mega unfair to even compare the podcast medium to like scripted comedy videos like they used to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I think he's been very unfairly maligned by a lot of people on the internet.
I think he's doing a great work, and he's under a tremendous amount of stress, and a lot of people give him shit, and it's not needed at all. It's like the amount of shit he gets for what he does, especially all of the shit for the fact that his wife was in the IDF was fucking unreal.
Oh, well, I mean, listen, much like Stephen, and I did say this at the time.
I've never been in the IDF.
No. But much
Not
like,
yet.
Just
much
paid by
like
the
Stephen
IDF.
before Ethan, I said, look, if you can't be around that Hassan cat, because he's only going one way, and his audience are going to be psychos, and he's going to lean into that, and then he's going to complain about his audience and whine that his viewership's going down.
Dan does the same thing,
because
yeah.
it's a when you pander to extremists, it's essentially a fucking zero-sum game, and that's what he's
Mr.
lent
Peterson
into.
said. He said that eventually you'll be
Mr.
held to
Peterson,
higher.
that's Dr. Peterson.
Dr.
Dan,
Peterson
right?
said that you're held to a higher and higher standard, and eventually
it becomes impossible to meet. Yeah, absolutely.
kill you at the end.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that part, but what I will say is, like, it was very sad watching Ethan kind of learn that a large part of his audience with the podcast he was doing with Hassan, like, despised him and his wife and his child, and all through October 7th. You know, I know that was very emotionally wearing, like it was on a lot of Jews who had family and people who were affected by that. Ethan's one of those guys, and then it's like you turn to your content and your audience for a bit of comfort, and they're all fucking.
They hate you all of a sudden.
They're all chanting death to Israel, and they want you to die. So I feel really fucking sorry for the position Ethan's in. I wish the internet would give him a break.
Where's Ethan based out of? Is it New
All
York?
I know is that October 7th didn't happen in a vacuum. I just want to let that be known, okay?
All right.
It didn't happen in a vacuum.
Okay. Well, we're huge fans of H3H3, and
I'm a huge fan of October 7th. I just want to say. Lycan, what did I fucking tell you about
Right,
that?
ducks him.
I'm so sorry.
Deploy the ducks. Release.
Jared, that's his first name. Jared. His last name is coming next. If he ever does that pipe sound again.
We're gonna, we'll figure this out. Hey, it's coming up on that donation time. Do we have any?
I sent you a bunch.
Oh, okay.
He sent them to you. Check your Discord.
Oh, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna have to do some viewer call-ins. There's a lot of people that are very interested in your limp dick now.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. The easiest time to shit on my audience.
All right, based Nebraska Steve coming out after a few shots. More during anything else. Omega lol. That was from Terry. Wow, thanks Terry.
We didn't really get into it. You didn't express any opinions about Ethan Klein.
Yeah,
I think
give
he's
us, what are
amazing.
the,
You just said you
what are the
liked
top 3 things you like about Ethan Klein?
Man, I don't even know if I could start.
Would you? Here's
that.
a question. He just had a child. Would you like Ethan Klein still,
Yikes,
even if he didn't
fam.
get his son circumcised? How would you feel about that?
I would feel nothing. You know,
You don't even care?
This is a mistake.
I'm just serious. I'm serious. You don't
I'm
care
sorry.
at all about that?
I'm sorry that this happened. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Go ahead.
All
Dan.
right. Wow. Twitch ban salinity and makes her go to copyright
This
school.
guy,
Yeah, we
he's the
talk about that.
Sneeko of Judaism. He doesn't even believe in his
Yeah.
faith.
I don't.
I
It's
know.
bullshit. What? I'm sorry.
My
Yeah.
God.
Which part?
All of it.
The whole thing?
all
You
religion.
renounced the Torah?
But you better believe when he's got responsibilities, he's the most Jewish guy in the fucking. Oh, I've got Shabbatha, I've got Passover, I
Yes,
can't
that's
fucking
what
do anything.
Listen.
Whenever he can use it as an excuse,
just interrupts
he's the
me.
most
He's a
Jewish
bad
fucking
person.
dude in the world.
No.
Holy shit, it's unfucking believable.
You do get days off work for that.
It's unreal.
That-
This guy will be at the checkout of CVS asking for a discount on conditioner with his Hasidic fucking Jew hat on. Like, I've got so much hair, please, like, cut me a fucking discount. It's unbelievable, this guy.
I don't know if that works. Does CVS have the
actually is.
Hasidic discount?
Yeah, they do, actually.
Shabbat Shalom, as you can see, the 20% off the conditioner. Anyways, no, all religion.
Calm down, Mordecai.
Yeah.
He's their Dracula. That's what you sound like.
Oh, Jesus. Dracula. Okay, that's a bit of a
Yeah, I don't know.
anti-Semitic trope. I told you.
Wait, is
Lycans
Dracula anti-Semitic?
Well, no,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
implying that the
Yeah,
voice
yeah,
is
he's
He
saying-
Dracula.
sounds like vampire.
No,
you're
that's
conflating
Russian.
Jewish people and vampires right now.
Yeah, that's
Like,
fine.
Fucking
Oh,
stop,
because
mate.
of the blood libel stuff.
Yeah,
No,
it's
because
gross, isn't it?
It is gross. Dan does that. I've seen him. I've watched it.
All right, great. Yeah, people. Well,
What's the next
this'll-
topic on the August list?
Yeah, what you
Yeah.
said one.
Okay, Twitch bans Alinity. You know, I
Wow.
don't that.
Oh my God.
How about the butthole cameras that were allowed on Twitch for a solid month?
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yeah.
Are we
I
going to
saw
give a
that.
controversial take about how sexual content on Twitch has gone overboard and we shouldn't really support it anymore? And it's so crazy that these people. Richard Lewis, please, can you go ahead and tell us what do you think about softcore porn
certainly
quality
can,
on
Stephen.
Twitch? Go ahead. My God.
I support it.
Wow.
Are we all holding our microphones now?
Yeah, it looks like we're all like.
All right. Well,
So, Stephen.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you buttholes, I support them.
yeah, I
I'm
like the
pro butthole.
transparent.
That's
transparent
base.
chair.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, on a serious note,
Yes?
I don't understand, like, right. So one of Twitch's biggest failures has been the consistent attempt to police sexualized content because they can't draw where the line is in a way that makes sense. And equally, every time they ban a streamer above a certain size, they do it for 3
When you
days
say
as a warning.
size, is that size
I ain't
like,
talking about
like
the
34
I'm
DD
talking
or
about-
oh,
yeah.
you just mean like viewer count?
Yeah, viewer
Okay.
count. Yeah.
Go ahead.
And so for me, I think like why not just lean into it and just allow this content?
Yeah, why not, Dan?
It just makes it so fucking simple.
Well, I think they're going to run into the same issue that the Twitter shit does.
Really?
What?
Wait, hold on.
The advertising?
Yeah.
You can actually
But
ask. Wait,
clearly not.
Dan here was the creator. Have you ever heard of a? Hold on.
Can
Have
you
ever,
stop?
Wait,
When-
have you ever heard of?
I-
Have you heard of a website called Tiny Chat?
Why are you doing
Do you know
this?
Tiny Chat?
You do know
Okay.
because you fucking put it in your tweet when you're
Yeah,
calling
you
me
put it
out.
in your tweet.
Yeah,
So
bad memory.
Dan, hold on. Don't
Well,
worry.
it's the alcohol. So what
Dan
did I
is
do?
he was the founder of
I
a
love this.
website
Yes.
called Tiny Chat. Now, you might not be aware of this, but it was the precursor to a lot of large internet things, and celebrities, ostensibly, meaning purportedly, but not actually, used Tiny Chat, okay? Now,
Doja Cat did.
Dan-
and she was caught being racist in it.
Dan, so tell us, as somebody that ran Tiny Chat, so
Yeah.
he's got industry experience, background knowledge, meaning that his opinion is more worthwhile than an ordinary person's opinion.
Than yours, certainly.
Then, Dan, yes, so can you tell us what kind of internal struggles might Twitch.tv be facing when it comes to balancing sexual content with advertiser pressure? Because he's made
He's
these
had it
decisions.
firsthand.
Yeah,
Okay.
tell us.
I'm
Go
locked
ahead and
in.
tell us,
Genuinely
Dan.
interested.
Give us your industry experience.
I think that there is immense pressure because if you fuck up, you know what it is? It's one network
Yeah.
that can fuck you. You know
Which
what it is?
one?
Google.
What?
Okay.
The double click network.
Yeah,
Holy
right.
shit.
If they decide, if you start showing ads, even accidentally against content that's not safe for work, they can boot you
Well,
off the whole thing.
I remember the Adpocalypse, the first one, where it was like Coca-Cola was on a jihadi fucking video on YouTube. I remember
Probably
that.
weren't happy about that.
No, funnily enough, yeah.
Yeah, I imagine that's probably a lot of the reasoning that we're seeing.
Did you follow the story where there was like an ISIS
Why am I even
execution shit, and there was a truck that was being driven? It was like fucking Rod's construction company, and somehow this truck had been sold all the way to the Middle East to fucking ISIS. Have you heard the story?
No,
at all?
I actually haven't.
It was
This is-
basically
like,
there was
"Hey, there's
there
my
was like,
truck."
Yeah, there was like a local construction company like fucking Ohio, and his truck had been sold to fucking ISIS. So there's like people drowning in the background and then being lifted out of this cage and like Rod's construction. Yeah.
For all your construction needs. Like,
this is not funny.
Christ.
This is sad.
No,
but-
it's sad, but
yeah.
also it is
No.
hilarious in a fucked up way.
But it's more funny than sad.
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe.
It's more funny than sad.
Yeah, I mean a little bit. Not really. There's a big thing about
No,
how
but
they
also
like
as well,
Toyotas.
you said they were drowning them like on chains and stuff.
Yeah,
so
you
it was
never saw those videos? It was wild.
I mean, no, I've only seen beheadings, so I've never seen the drowning.
They set people on fire.
You're not
They
subscribed to
drown
any of those
people.
subreddits?
No. I just wait for it to come on my Twitter feed. Eventually, it does. You know, you
Jesus
see all that
Christ.
stuff.
So,
you know?
you mean your X feed? Lycan, can I ask you a serious question?
Yeah.
Please.
Why didn't you have any chocolate snacks?
Because you have never requested. The snacks that you have had have been out of the kindness of my fucking heart.
Okay, Lycan, thank you.
How many times
also-
have I brought you a chocolate fucking milk?
I said thank you.
All right,
You're
real
like
quick.
freaking
Hey,
out.
Have you really reduced all the people you work with to like a fucking entourage?
They're my employees. It's way different.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Do you want to be employed by me?
Nah, I'm good.
You. That's
Are
a
you-
great.
you're
We
you're
provide
self-employed
vision,
now, right?
medical, dental.
No, but it's better for both of us.
First
You wouldn't
off,
respect me if I said yes.
And he doesn't offer any of those things either. He's lying to you.
Yeah,
What are you
okay,
talking about?
You have medical and dental.
Yeah, like I come in your wife's mouth, and it helps her health, and
You know,
it gives
what
her
about
teeth
if I
a
wanted to
bright,
show my
pearly
wife
white shine.
this episode? Now I can't do it. Well, I was like, hey babe, look at the latest episode I did.
You can
with
show her
Steve.
that because she'll
No,
watch
I
5
can't.
minutes and turn it the
I
fuck
can't.
off.
And not only that,
you know why she wouldn't watch it?
I
Because
can
you're
never
on it,
bring-
Dan.
I
She'd
can
say, I get
never-
enough of you all day. I don't want to
can
watch
never.
anything with you in
I've been
it.
married 20 years, and I
She
was like,
watches
hey,
every
how
stream
would
I
you
do,
feel?
Dan.
How would you feel coming on to the show?
Coming
like
on
if we do
Dan?
like 10,000
You'd be like, God, I'm coming on the
subscribers or
worst
something.
man in the
no.
world.
And she said,
Don't do it.
I'd fucking kill
You are the
myself
one
before
guy
came
that I
on there.
could come
Don't do
on
that.
with a small.
I also think it's
plastic dick.
important as well. Like honestly, if you're ever in Steven's orbit for a long period of time, you know you're gonna. He does attract some crazies. He's always attracted some
Barely,
crazies.
not really.
I know you wouldn't know that from the callers today.
Wait, name 7 crazy people in my orbit.
I can name a few.
Well, your fucking moderation team on your subreddit.
That's probably me. If you got banned, it's probably by me.
No, I'm just kidding.
I literally wake
Full
up.
fuck's good people.
I wake up, and if I had a bad dream, I just ban everybody. I'll open a thread and be like, man, this guy, and ban.
I do it too, but I worry sometimes. I'm
You
like,
need to lose mod privileges in my sub. 'cause
No.
If I'm asked, Matt, I can ban people. Who the fuck are you to ban people
I
on my
can ban
sub?
people too. I only ban when it's not constructive feedback.
Lycan, cut the camera to me. If you've been banned by Dan, DM me and I'll unban you. Just to
And-
fuck with Dan. Nothing. There's the thing that makes me the happiest.
Dan's gonna have bigger
Do you know what
problems
makes
when
me
he's
the
in prison
happiest?
after what you just said.
I
So
like that
can't.
Dan will
you can't
never
go to prison. You'll just be
He-
bankrupt.
He
But
literally
then
can't
you
go to
end up
prison.
in prison
Listen,
because
there's a very high bar,
Yeah.
okay, when you're
Okay.
a public figure
Yeah.
for proving actual malice. Did you know that?
It felt malicious to me. I'll go on the record.
It's actually all right. Well, listen, I only did it because you told me.
No, you
that
can't
I
pin
should
this
tell
on
my
me,
story
dude.
on Rust
You
earlier.
definitely can't pin that on me, bro.
Listen,
No chance. I'm fully denouncing it and renouncing it. So
listen, Rust is Rust, man. That's what do you want me to say? You know,
I want you to know that I'm going to be honest with you.
I wonder what Slasher would say.
No.
Happened.
Do you know what Rust is?
he'd tell you the same thing I said.
Yeah. He doesn't know what happened, or does he?
No, look, right. So again, we don't know what happened.
What do you mean he doesn't know what
we
happened?
only know what sources were saying at the time, and then it's all been. There was a agreement somewhere along the line that they wouldn't sue each other or something.
Interesting. I didn't know there was an agreement.
Yeah, that's what Guy tweeted anyway. If you saw that stuff. Sorry, Doc tweeted. I should
You're on a first name
distinguish the character.
basis.
Well, no, I should just distinguish the character from the person.
as well.
And you know, he
everybody.
tweeted out that like I won't be suing. It was something like I won't be suing Twitch moving forward, and I'm going to get on with my career.
Interesting.
Listen. Based on what, like, for me, I think if you're a company and you deplatform someone and you have employees that intimate there's something bad there, I personally think you have to answer for that. And I think if you don't, hiding behind the whole, we would never talk about a band publicly when we know that isn't true because they have for other bands in the past, I think that's cowardice, and I think they should put up or shut up. I think Doc should be back on Twitch, and that's based on
100%. I'll tell you the other thing as well. I don't like that the only way that you get shit done with Twitch now is if you have back channels. So I knew, like, I emailed Dan Clancy, and I was trying to find out, like, hey, can I stream? Like, and if I stream, can I like go over this podcast because Steven's banned on Twitch?
Yes.
And he's like, hey, listen, in like 2 weeks, there's a change coming up where we're going to go over this. And it's like, why the am I emailing the CEO to find this out? How about instead you have actual clear messaging?
Yeah, like
and
policies.
Stop like flip-flopping every week. It's embarrassing.
I feel like Dan brought that up just to humble brag that he's emails the CEO.
Oh my fucking Christ!
Dude,
we get
he
it,
did an
dude.
interview
We
with
get it,
fucking
dude.
Jake Lucky. This Dan guy talks
Dan
to
still
anyone.
thinks that it's like really special, so he wants to bring up that he emailed. Dan, we get it. You emailed the CEO. You're so cool. Dan, you're so cool.
You know, I was.
What?
Okay. You know, you do it. Because you'd be surprised how much you
what? Surprised about what?
Can you shut the up for a second? Fucking Christ! You would be.
Dude, that's our guy. Don't say that.
No, he's my guy.
He's not your guy.
He's my guy. You know what? He's my guy.
Can I tell you a bit of lore?
Oh, for fucking Pete's sake.
Okay, check this out, okay?
God forbid I can have a fucking sentence.
You've got a rapist and a murderer, and then you got
And they're
Jesus.
both Dan.
And you got Jesus.
Okay.
And there's this guy, okay, he's Roman. His name is Pontius Pilate. And he's like,
Yeah, I heard it.
listen, okay? And he's talking to Dan's great-great-great-great-grandfather. He's like, shouldn't we kill the rapist and the
generations.
murderer? And Dan's great-great-grandfather, he's like, no, kill fucking Jesus. What the bro? And then they did it. The Romans never wanted to kill Jesus. Dan's great-great-great-grandfather were like, kill Jesus.
3 generations.
4. I'm just saying that, like, a lot of people don't know that, but our guy was literally killed by
Romans.
No, the Romans didn't even want to kill him. Dan's
I've
great
got to be honest,
grandfather.
Dan. If I'd heard that, I might not have come on this podcast.
I'll tell you right now, if all it takes is like a little whisper to get you to kill someone, you're still
It
the
wasn't
problem.
a little whisper. It was all your Pharisees and your false prophets. You guys were
We didn't have
gambling.
any prophets.
You guys were gambling in the fucking
Is
temple.
this a metaphor for the Twitch scene?
No, it's what actually
Okay,
happened.
yeah,
That's
just
why
checking.
the only time Jesus ever got mad is when his people were gambling in the fucking temple, and that's when he flipped
Jesus
the tables.
flipped the table.
Yeah, but it was
Yeah, I
righteous.
remember that,
It wasn't bad. He was like correct to be upset because they were desecrating the holy grounds.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
To be fair.
But also, he was resurrected, as much as he'll deny
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Do you hold on? Wait, watch this. Watch me get him on this. It's just like the Sneeko age or consent question.
Okay, go on.
Dan, do you think that Jesus was resurrected?
I do.
Bullshit! You're not even Jewish now. Now you're
Catch 22, got
Christian.
him.
Now he's Christian.
I don't believe in
Fuck
any of it
you.
to begin
Listen,
with.
another W for the Judeo-Christian
Oh my
alliance.
God.
Yeah,
You're
we're here we
lying.
are. Let's do
He
it.
doesn't even
Let's do
believe
it,
it.
bro.
So no, back to the thing about the Twitch CEO.
Oh, yeah.
Because we talked about it a little bit yesterday on the podcast.
I should be unbanned. He said that.
Yeah, like 100%.
I did too. I sent
are you going
emails.
to ban somebody for, first of all, opinions off platform?
He doesn't care.
Which should never happen.
Yeah.
That should never happen.
Yep.
Like, anything I say on Twitter should not affect whether I am allowed to use Twitch or not.
True.
And I hate that
I disagree.
Well, that's crazy. I hate this big tech overreach. Should I put it this way, right? Imagine one of the things that
The first thing that happens when you're a school shooter is I feel like everyone at every company
Okay.
is like, hey, what's this
Right.
guy's account? And we need to fucking close it right away. Because the second that shit happens,
Yeah, and they shouldn't. It's grotesquely unethical, actually, because journalists might need to mind that for context.
Or content.
Yeah.
Sure.
You're like, this is making my job way more difficult.
But I actually...
Every time a shooting happens, I go into this guy's Reddit and I control F Hassan, and I'm like, please let this guy be a Hassan poser. Yes.
The last guy was.
Well, but it was
the one who.
I mean,
what I wanted.
what, these self-immolation dudes?
Yeah.
I mean, of course, the Sans audience is setting themselves
I
on
prefer
fire.
that to them coming after.
I mean, it's better that than listen to him try and break down geopolitics.
If I did a fundraiser for like Palestinian supporters and it was all like kerosene and matches, do you think that'd be in poor taste?
Can you stop? I do not. We don't subscribe to that.
But it would be that.
I don't subscribe to anything that's happened on this podcast at all.
I'm not
That would be a
involved.
good fundraiser.
What, to raise money for kerosene and matches for Hassan viewers? Is that
Oh
what
wait,
you're saying?
apparently,
For
like it.
protesters.
Oh, well, listen, if they want to do it,
You f up your
know.
microphone. Stop f***ing with it.
I'm not fucking it up.
People are
You are.
complaining you f with the mic.
yeah, now
Stop
you're saying
touching
you've
it.
got a robot.
No, I bet like and unplugged me. I did unplug it. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey, you know what? You f***ing shit on me and said that the f***ing audio was going to be bad for Discord, and it
Don't
was
talk to
fine.
him. Don't even acknowledge what he's saying.
Acknowledge him.
Lycan is like a snake.
You
If
know,
you don't
he-
move, he can't actually see.
He's bringing in another dude to like try and redo this place.
Oh, the homosexual jokes. Nice. Bringing in another dude. Good one, Dan.
I don't think
nice
he's going
one.
that direction.
Bringing it
Not as
back-
bad as you
bringing
guys
it-
bringing in
bringing it back to the
immigrants to
Twitch
undermine white people in the United
we'll
States.
have this conversation.
The great replacement. I'm aware of it. True. Thank you, Lycan.
I don't even know who Don DeMarco is.
You wouldn't.
Because
No,
I'm racist.
Okay, can we let Richard have his say? Go ahead, Richard.
Well, so I was just saying, to bring the conversation back to where we were about the Twitch policies and the banning. It does seem very strange to me that like Steven is banned for things he said off platform, not on platform.
I'm starting to feel like I understand Steve's ban actually a little bit more after
Really?
tonight. Yeah.
Why?
No, do you want to know what's happened to him? He got pushed out to Extremist Island, aka Kick.
I'm not even that extreme, though.
No, but now you were encouraged to be,
Well,
aren't you? Because Kick's not going to ban you. You can say anything you want.
but I'm also on YouTube. I'm not that extreme.
That's true.
Yeah, but then you've got an editor that can, because you don't.
August is extreme.
Well, okay.
He's an extremist.
I have to fight him a lot.
He hates all of the native Aboriginal people of Australia. Did you know that?
What are you talking about?
If you talk with him a little bit, he goes crazy. He uses terms you're not supposed to use for that.
Like, give me an example.
I
of
can't
those.
say it.
No,
Yeah,
Go ahead and give me an
You know what
example.
I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
I know
He's
the
one of
word,
those
yeah.
people. There's like a small sect of
bit
people
weird.
in Australia that like really hate the Aboriginal people of Australia. I don't know why he's like
They're
that.
doing that thing that a lot of colonialists do, and I know you'd have no frame of reference for this. But
Yes.
that was really good.
He's laughing because he hates Israel.
Right.
And Dan is a colonialist that supports
He's doing
Israel.
that thing a
Go
lot
ahead.
of colonialists do. But what they do is they ruin the lives of indigenous people to the point where they unfortunately are economically disenfranchised.
Yeah.
They do things that are against their own self-interests. They turn to crime, they turn to drugs to alleviate pain, and then they condemn them for behaving in that way.
That's what Dan does.
And we've seen this
That's true.
historically, throughout. Well, it's just throughout history, isn't it? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously a lot of Australians that are anti-Aboriginal
Stop f***ing with your
people.
microphone.
I'm not
I feel like
fucking
I'm you now. Leave it alone.
Hold on. Nothing triggers me more than when Richard Lewis is in the middle of a fucking killer monologue. He's delivering like a soliloquy.
I heard him.
These are really good.
No.
apparently.
But you interrupted it by interrupting with some dumb shit. Can you? I'm
Thanks,
sorry.
bro.
Can you please?
You notice how I'm holding it down, and people are saying I'm drunk in the chat. It's absolutely outrageous, by the way.
Well,
The
you've
chat's
been a
saying
little
that
bit
I'm
out of
drunk.
control, but that's okay.
This is welcome to my world. Every time
Yeah,
I'm at this point.
I'm glad Stephen had a drink tonight.
Oh, I'm glad
actually.
too because
Yeah.
this is the.
Do you want to know what's fucked up though?
What?
He still didn't say the most ridiculous thing this
Oh,
podcast.
what,
Yeah.
the N-word?
No. Stop.
I have the pass. I've been
Stop.
given to
You
it by.
do not have the
I've
pass.
gotten it by like
Whoever
7 different
gave
I'm
people.
not co-signing
I'm basically
this.
the Captain
No.
Planet of the
I
N-word at
don't
this
care.
point. I've
No,
had so
stop
many
it.
different
No.
nationalities
No.
granted to me.
No, you're not allowed. This is-
Not allowed to what?
You're not allowed to say it.
Say what? The end.
No,
What
stop.
if I'm reading another person saying it?
Okay.
Okay, what's the next thing on the list? Oh, by
We
the
were
way,
still talking, and we still never got to
Yeah.
the bottom of the
we were talking
discrepancies
about
in
unfairly. I was.
Twitch.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'll say this: it's
So
I was
Twitch needs to get their
unfairly banned.
Twitch needs to get their shit.
Wow.
Shut the f-
No, that's
for
so
a
brave.
second.
Talk about how Twitch needs to get their shit together again, Dan. That's such a brave.
Kick
Yeah.
wouldn't have as viable a business model
If it wasn't for all the Twitch bans.
if it wasn't for Twitch.
I don't know if
having
they
these
do have a
terrible
viable business
policies.
model.
Okay, well, when I use the term viable business model,
It's like
I mean
losing
they're
money.
willing for now to throw money at the platform, but they can attract a higher level of talent than they ordinarily would be able to because of Twitch's own policies.
Yeah, I agree.
Which are, when you're a creative type.
I don't even know what Twitch's policies are
Yeah,
anymore.
that's what. Yeah, exactly.
That's the whole point, Dan.
They flip flop.
Yeah, we don't even know what they are.
I understand this. Listen, Lycan.
Yeah.
Pulling the camera on me. I have a message for Dan Clancy.
You got it.
God.
Shut up and don't interrupt me.
No, we won't.
No, this is
You go.
important. Hey, Dan. Dan here. I wanted to let you know that we're tired of your site changing the rules every week. Nobody knows what's going on. Get your shit together, unban Destiny, and make a site that people actually want to go to. It's disgusting and it's stupid that you've let it go this long. Just shut the f up. All right? That misspeak shit needs to end. And f you, Dan. I emailed you and asked you 3 times to unban him, and you said nothing.
He
God damn it.
misspoke. Hold on. Do you understand the? Do you
so
understand?
f***ing stupid.
Do you understand the misspeaking thing? We can talk when Dan ducks.
Look
Because
at
he never
this.
talks on
It
his
looks
mic.
like
So
I
it's
had a
okay.
hard fall. No, I'm okay. Thank you.
Life alert.
Shit.
Why are you wearing a life alert?
It's just,
It up, dude.
Yeah, no, it was
oh
bad.
my god.
It was,
you know,
nearly
it
as
was
bad
for
as
your
that
benefit too.
caller.
It's for you. You go to curse me when I'm trying to help you. That's the most f***ed up part.
But because you fucked it up so hard. There's a world where only 2 billion Jews die because Hitler misspeaks as hard as you. you just get all up so much.
And here we are with Richard Lewis of Richard Lewis Reports.
Yeah, esports.
How old are you, Richard Lewis? What's your real age?
Real age, 42.
I'm 40.
Okay.
Did you have any? I had like a lot of feelings turning 40. I didn't have any feelings turning 30.
Oh, it just doesn't bother me because I'm a man-child.
Yeah.
So, you
Well,
know
I
what I
am too.
mean? It's like when you live in a state of arrested development, you actually just don't give a shit.
That's crazy because Dan gives a shit and he lives in a state of arrested development.
That is
so
crazy.
How did he get both negative?
Yeah. Why
qualities?
is it that I have that? Why do I care?
Yeah. Can you get?
Well,
I'm a
being
man-child.
married, there's always like I imagine, because I'm not married, just an incel, obviously. But there must be a pressure to, at some point, like your wife must say to you, like, this is all fun. You know, you're wearing an Australian hat and you're talking to Steven. And
Yeah.
You're ending your career by making outrageous claims.
I did not make a heat claim. I repeated what I heard at Rust when I was buying a mini copter
And
2 years ago.
she must be saying to you, like, when does this stop and when are you going to get a real job?
No, it's okay.
it's not.
I talk
No?
to her every night and I convince her that this is a-okay.
Do you have any children, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
does.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
2?
Oh 2.
I have 2
Oh
kids.
yeah.
Okay, so
Oh
I mean,
my
again,
God, he does.
also, it's kind of like, I get it, because it's like, again, we talked about this briefly on the podcast yesterday. You have to kind of make hay while the sun shines. So when you're in the spot where you can make the most money, even doing really unpalatable things,
So here's the-
you kind of have to do it for
Here's
the good of your
the
kids and
f***ed up
family,
part
you know?
is that I actually put myself in this danger, this retarded
Yeah.
space that I'm in.
I believe it.
For
Fun,
fun.
thrills.
Yeah,
You're a thrill seeker.
a little bit.
Well,
Yeah, there you go.
I've already
like
made
by
my money. I
proxy,
don't have to work
basically.
anymore.
Oh, so you're retired?
Yeah.
Well,
You would have known that if you
He
came and
think-
hang out today
he
at my
think- he
house.
think he needs
Well,
the money.
I
Oh,
would've
no,
told
he
you all
needs
this
it.
stuff that-
He's lying.
I
He
was,
definitely
I
needs
was
the money.
writing an article. You know what journalists are like.
Yeah, that's fine.
We don't know how to enjoy the finer things.
Yeah,
in
so
life.
I willingly put myself into this situation, the fire.
Well, I would add,
Yeah.
it's low risk if you've already got money.
With him?
Yeah, it's still low risk.
No, I'm very risky.
You know, in the sense
It's
that
as risky-
you
it's
might
the
get,
most
you
risky
might
person
get,
ever.
If somebody docks you,
No. That's not the danger.
Let me finish.
He goes out and he puts pictures of like f***ing people shitting on like the Torah and the f***ing, what's the...
Do you do that?
Yes!
What did he
He
talk?
had
I don't know what he's
Minecraft
talking
Steve
about.
like smashing the Kabbalah or
That was
whatever.
a funny tweet.
Yes, he gets... Let me
Wait,
tell you
but hang
something.
on. I thought the Kabbalah, that's not mainstream
Let me
Judaism,
explain something to you.
so-
Okay, this is important you
Yeah.
understand.
Okay.
When you're a DGGer,
Right.
everyone hates you.
Yeah.
Everyone on the right, everyone on the left.
Yes.
Do you know who doesn't hate you?
The DGG is.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
He's talking about this. Okay, so there was a time when I was shitting on Muslims, and I said,
no, I saw that,
said,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm getting a bit too spicy and disrespectful with some of the tweets lately, so there's no reason to attack an entire religion. I'm gonna chill on the religious commentary and just stream some Minecraft later or something.
Oh, that's Mecca. That's that's
It's
bad.
the holy cube.
Yeah, it's the holy cube. of
They all
Mecca,
love this cube.
Yeah, I know.
They go
Wait.
crazy for it, and
Yeah.
Steve is annihilating it.
Now, what I would say is
The
that,
diamond pickaxe is Israel.
right. That's hilarious.
It is.
No,
But-
it's not. It's not funny. It's very
It's
disrespectful.
really
It's
No,
very
listen,
disrespectful.
listen.
It's fucking hilarious.
The whole blasphemy angle is fucking whack. You should be
True.
able to make jokes about that shit. And
Absolutely.
I thought we had that sussed out in like 2005 after the what was
Charlie
it?
Hebdo.
Well, no, Charlie Hebdo was
Can we
after.
stop? I wanna live.
Hold on. In Denmark, you know, it was Jylland Post, the Danish publication that
I'm sorry, I
published
only
the
speak
cartoons
English.
of
Can you
Muhammad. And you know, I thought we had it all figured out that actually, like, blasphemy in a free and egalitarian society that values free speech, blasphemy has to be on the table, and blasphemy laws are fucking whack. So, like, put it this way: would I disrespect if I'm in a room with a Muslim? Am I gonna say something that's gonna like offend them and disrespect? No, because I'm not a rude person. Do I think you should be able to make broad jokes about any belief system? Yes, absolutely, of course.
Yeah, Dan, what do you think about that? God, he's such a fucking pussy.
I am.
God, oh my God.
Me and trying to
I
defend.
hate you. You're the kind of guy where if Israel did like a full draft, you wouldn't even fucking go over. I would
No,
go and
I
serve.
wouldn't.
I would
I'm
serve.
not an Israeli citizen.
I'm gonna fight for them. I'm so
not.
ready for it.
Fuck that.
God, I'm ready for it.
You know what? I came up with a solution, by the way, last night.
Yeah,
The
so
solution
did
is-
Hitler, Dan.
Actually,
But,
hold
yeah.
on. I'm gonna tell you my. I know you're drunk. Let me
I'm
tell
not
you.
even. I'm faking
Okay,
it.
okay. But I want to
Tell
tell
me.
you my real solution
boy.
for it, and you tell me
Okay,
why it
yeah.
wouldn't work.
Solution for what, Dan?
For the whole Israel-Palestine conflict.
Jesus Christ.
You
tell me.
ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I want you to
boy.
actually seriously listen, though.
Yeah.
And
I hope
then
it doesn't
try to-
involve copyright law. Go ahead.
Okay, here's my solution. First off, the border between Gaza and Egypt would be removed, and the United States would greatly incentivize Egypt to take in as many people from Gaza as they could.
My God.
The border
Okay.
between Gaza and Israel proper would be removed. The border between the West Bank and Israel would be removed, and essentially Israel would turn from becoming what it is today to being the United Arab Israeli state. One state, and it would basically be like
Is he really doing one
I
state
swear to
solution on
God,
you?
this is my
Okay.
solution. And
Okay,
then you
sure.
basically give it American democracy, and anyone who lives within Israel's borders, it has the same rights, and that's it. And you get rid of all the religious bullshit. That's my solution.
Can you play the pipe noise again?
But that's a good solution.
Like it,
No,
we
listen.
need the
With
pipe noise.
millions and billions of dollars, too.
Unfortunately, with everything that's happened recently, like, put it this way: at the time of the Abraham Accords,
Yeah,
you,
the time of the Abraham Accords.
you could maybe get me to two-state solution.
Yeah,
No,
maybe a two-state.
You just
with-
need to remove all the borders, the whole thing altogether, and give them.
Thank you.
Listen, I'm not even like a Palestine supporter or anything. I just think it's the easiest way out of this shit.
No, it's actually the most
Just remove all the
complicated.
fucking borders.
The problem with the single state solution.
Yeah, tell us the problem, Richard.
Well, okay.
He's gonna tell us the problem.
You're certainly way more informed.
Wait, why
than me.
can't they?
No,
Why
no,
can't they just do that? Like, what would happen if you just like got rid of all the borders?
I don't know, Dan. What the fuck would happen?
I don't know. Like, at least you could have Israeli police in Gaza in the West
Yeah,
Bank.
but then that's never gonna happen. Now,
Yeah,
why?
that's
That
not
would
gonna
The
happen.
borders would be gone. That would be all part
Okay,
of the
so
United
we remove
Israeli Empire.
If you said to people in Gaza, we will remove the border and
Yeah.
you can have open and free movement between that region and Israel and any other part of the Holy Land you want to visit.
Yeah.
But it comes at the cost of IDF policing where you live. No, that is never accepted in a million years.
Well,
and you know why.
You got to push enough McDonald's on them until they see you. That's it. You got to let them have a
make
good
them
enough
really
life.
fat and passive
you
over the course of 100
You
years.
got to
That
show
would-
them a better life. That's the only
Right.
way through peace. Is
No,
a better life.
unfortunately,
Why would you show this like it on my podcast?
I mean, listen, again, still not the craziest thing that's happened tonight. But no, listen, I love
craziest
I love
thing-
the optimism. I do, but it is naive, and it has to be a two-state solution. And unfortunately, for about a century, it's going to have to be heavily policed by the international community in some capacity.
Yeah.
Why? Why do
And it
Jews
can't
need their
just-
own state? Why do
and
we
it-
need a fucking religious state?
What
It's
do
so
you-
stupid.
No, listen.
Wow.
Okay.
So hold on, I just want to be clear.
Right.
You don't think that Israel should exist?
I don't think that there should be religious people in charge of anything. No.
Oh, so you don't think Israel should protect its Jewish character?
No, probably not.
Okay,
Is-
that's good, Dan. I'm glad you could join the 10% of Jews
It's
that
not
aren't
just protecting
in favor of Israel.
the faith, though. It's protecting. It's
Don't the Jews already outnumber all the Muslims there, anyways?
Oh yeah, do they, Dan? You think if
Yes.
they got,
I
you think
thought they
they,
did.
you think
No,
if they got
no,
their
they
infinite right
do
of
that,
return, you think?
What's the population difference between?
Well, why don't you ask all the Palestinians living in fucking Lebanon and Syria, Dan? God, this song just makes me want to kill you so much. I don't even know why.
Like,
Do you feel it?
give himself PTSD.
I feel like I want to. I feel like I want to stab you, or like behead you or something.
You know, I take it back. Fuck it. Push them all into Egypt.
What
All
the
right.
fuck, Dan?
I mean,
No,
that's
but
the
I-
opposite.
no, no, no,
I don't- Is that what you're saying?
No. There's a serious point actually about Egypt's. I don't want to use the term liability in this, but I think it's quite instructive of
Yeah.
where we're at in the Arab world, where a country like Egypt that borders with Palestine would refuse to take in Palestinian refugees, but the one area they all agree on is, of course, the total destruction of Israel.
True.
And it's like, okay, well, there's evidently consequences for that as a broader policy. So what are you going to do to support the Palestinian people that are displaced by the consequences of the fight you ostensibly
Fucking
support?
true. That's what Lycan tells me every time when we
There's
got the
only
cameras.
one-
Lycan is like, "What are we gonna do to get rid of Israel and Dan?"
He is out of fucking... Like, have you been drinking, mate?
No, Lycan doesn't. Lycan
There's
legitimately.
only one donation over the threshold. Reminder that Destiny said he would figure out how to upload the podcast to Spotify tonight. DGGL.
Yeah, that's happening for sure.
For sure.
So everyone in the chat believes that now that we're talking about Israel-Palestine, it's gone off the rails. Like,
Yeah.
it hasn't been off the rails.
Wow,
So what we
so-
do is, let's bring it back.
Yeah. Dan, what's the next topic on our
Baldur's
list?
Gate 3.
I mean, you're supposed to give a breakdown of how Sneeko did everything. I don't know if you really gave a full breakdown
Of what? What do you want to break down, Dan?
Well, I think Sneeko wants to debate you on Israel and Palestine.
Yeah, it's gonna
Why
be fucking
would
retarded.
he have that debate?
I don't
Why
know.
would Steven sign up to that?
I would
that
sign
is
up
a
to
waste
that.
of your
He would
time.
That's
Ben.
not a
It
waste
just-
of my time.
No,
it's
it is.
good ass content. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I know you think it's good, but he's a fucking moron.
Yeah, but that's what makes it funny. It's like a deaf guy trying to educate me about fucking Beethoven. That's the funniest fucking debate in the world.
That joke works on two levels. I
It does.
appreciated it.
How many worlds? Levels?
Levels too. It works on
Why?
two.
What's the other level?
Because Beethoven was dead.
Is Nico deaf? I don't understand that. Yeah, I'll take credit for it.
Never
I meant
mind.
it
Just
on that.
take it. It was really clever,
Okay,
Steven.
thank
It was
you.
accidentally clever.
Thank you.
It's fine.
No, that was good.
Oh, he was in the end of his life. When he composed, but he already knew all the. When he composed, Dan, he
But
knew
enough
what the
about
sound sound
Sneeko.
like. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
hold on. We got
How do you
something.
wait? How do you even know that Beethoven was deaf at the end of his life?
He was just deaf.
Wait, we got a real
He was
question.
deaf when he was young too, I think.
How do we fix the homeless crisis, boys? Serious answers only.
Yeah, people like Dan need to stop buying real estate with all their
Yeah,
extra
correct.
money, and they need to instead turn the property over to the homeless people.
Unironically, there has to be state limits on how much property individuals can
True.
own, and
Absolutely true.
And I would say companies can own as well.
Yeah.
You see these like real estate companies, and they own like thousands of properties, and they
Yeah.
lease them out. We just need to.
You know that
we
he
need
has-
to smash that up. It's
he has
it's
properties.
essentially a monopoly.
What do you?
where
you're
he's
like,
regional.
He has properties.
He did it.
Look, he has actually makes money from properties. Can I hold on? Can I
Oh
tell you
my God.
something?
Yeah, go.
Lycan. Yep. Kill Dan's mic. Okay.
I can't.
So one of the ways that he makes money is it's called an owner move-in eviction.
Right.
So this is what he tells people to do. He says.
That's what I tell other people.
So
to
here's
do.
what he says. He says
Oh, this is Dan the landlord.
Yes.
I've seen this clip.
Yeah. So here's what
a
he
long time
suggests.
ago.
Yeah,
He says that
I've
if
seen
you
it.
buy a property with 4 units, if there's one person living there, he says, here's what he says. He says, what you can do is, it's called an owner move-in eviction. So let's say
Yeah.
you've got a 4-person property that you've purchased.
Four-person property.
But it's rent controlled, right? Well, now you're fucked because the
Yeah.
ceiling of how much money you make. So what Dan says is, what you can do is you can do an owner move-in
Yes.
eviction. So you move into the property and you say, hey, I'm actually going to convert this to a personal residence. And then what you tell the person is, check this out. Now, we can go through the whole court process, but let's be real, okay? I'm going to fuck you. All right, but what you can say is, listen, I'll cut you a check for like 25 grand, and you can get the fuck out of my property,
50K.
or 50K, and then and the person, because they're hopefully
Impoverished or whatever, yeah.
impoverished,
No, because they have
probably
no other
old.
options. Because you
And then
bought
you
the
say-
fucking place, and you can
you
do
write
whatever
them
you
a
want
check,
with it.
$50,000, Mossad Associates
They could
LLC.
ride you out and fight you.
No,
They could,
but
they
they're not
don't.
going to do
There's
that.
no defense.
Yeah, it's not-
you
not when
can't
there's
fight
50
against.
grand there.
Yeah, you're not fighting against Dan, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah, Shinbet LLC is completely destroying you. So Dan writes them a check, okay? They leave, and then after Dan's converted it to an owner move-in eviction, he has a personal residence, and he chills there for maybe a year or two, whatever the California. 3 years. 3 years. Nice. You did the thing. 3 years.
Yep.
So, and then after 3 years, okay, Dan was like, you know what? California state government, he's like, I'm going to reconvert this back to an apartment. But check this out. Because he's converting from a residential to an apartment, now whatever old prior restrictions there are on raising rent, because it's like a rent-controlled unit, are completely gone. And now we can set the rent at market rates. Boom. And now, boom, he's made. And now when he sells that property to somebody else, they can buy it and they can rent it at current market rates rather than whatever was rent-controlled before. That's what he's tells people to do.
How many times have you done that?
Like
Once.
10 times.
Only once.
Yeah.
So you're not the worst offender out there.
When I was living in one state and I wanted to move for my company to San Francisco, and instead of buying like a condo, I was like, fuck it, I'll buy like a, might as well try and make money, I guess, and live in one of the units. Shut the fuck up.
Tell him that it's evil.
So I bought a building, and one of the units, it was a bunch, it was really under rent.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck it,
70 years old, that's how old she was. Tell him about her.
It was a bunch of college students,
Yeah.
and they were paying like $2,000 a month for like
He's
a $7,000 a month unit.
They had a big sign on the outside of their apartment and it said no lighters because oxygen tanks present, because this lady was on oxygen, and Dan kicked her out. It was crazy.
So I did it, but yeah, it's an insane. But that loophole only exists because of rent control.
Yeah.
Rent control is stupid.
I don't disagree on the idea of rent control. I mean, because it only makes sense in very densely populated.
Wait, rent control never makes sense, Richard.
Okay, but it kind of does theoretically in densely.
He's from Europe, so they like rent control.
Right. In densely populated cities where you could never
don't let him fight against us. Rent control is good.
I won't get into it because also the export of European ideas to America and vice versa, it just doesn't work.
No, hold on. It's not about that. Imagine you live in an apartment, it's $1,500 a month, and this fucking loser wants to raise it to $2,500 a month. That's not possible. You can't live in a place that long. Do you think they should be able to kick you out by raising your rent by 90%?
Well,
fuck no.
So how it works where I live is the landlord just sets the rent, and if you don't,
no, but they shouldn't be able to raise it that much, right? Hold on, it's not like he's not gonna lower the rent if he gets a fucking better deal, right?
Yeah, they do lower the rent.
They never know. Bullshit. How many times have you had the landlord lower the rent, Richard?
If they're bad market conditions?
Answer. How many times have you had lowered rent?
I've never had a lower.
Exactly. But how many times have they wanted to raise it higher?
I've had the landlord tell me specifically for, I think, in one period in my life, about 3 years in a row, when the UK economy wasn't doing great, they said, we're not raising the...
Oh, wow. Good for them.
But I mean, actually, if you consider other cost of living might be going up, yeah, that is a pretty good thing.
Bullshit. Yeah. How many of these guys were fucking homeless, Richard? Did your hold on? Let me ask you. Did your landlord come to you in a fucking garbage bag outfit? Listen, Richard, I'm not gonna raise the rent on you because I know times are tough for you. I'm gonna bullshit. He showed up in a fucking 3-piece suit.
He did.
Probably cost more than your monthly fucking rent. It's like I'm gonna be I'm gonna be so nice to you. I'm not gonna raise your rent, and you're supposed to feel good for this guy, for this fucking guy. Bullshit.
Put it this way.
Bullshit.
I think blanket hatred of landlords is asinine.
Why?
Hey, we gotta go.
Hold on. They don't even do anything. Wait. No, we're not renting the show. No,
because apparently we're meeting somewhere.
He doesn't even know what he's talking about. No, we're not renting anywhere.
I can't say.
I'm the most important person here. We're not ending the show until I say. We're not ending the show until I say.
Is he here already?
No.
Listen, I gotta go sign some papers.
He's not doing shit.
From Liechtenstein.
Richard,
is there?
Wait. What does a landlord do? He owns shit and does nothing.
Steven's trying to get fans he'll never get.
Dan, what do you do for the property you own? Be honest. Answer us.
Nothing.
There's a guy. Hold on. Wait, Richard, look at me. I want you to think about this. There is land right now that is increasing in value. While
Can you just top me off? I'll have to listen.
Top me off too. Thank you, like.
Yeah, definitely top.
This guy is This guy, Dan, he's not doing anything. And he's gaining more money doing nothing? Wait. But then why does he get to gain more money? Because he has money? How is that fair?
So what I'm saying is there would be a limit. Like, I don't know what the limit would be, but say X amount of property. It's reasonable that you get to make money off property. I have no issue with that. But what I'm saying is...
Wait, why should you make money doing nothing?
This endless loop of buy to lease that people find themselves in... The government has to put limits on that.
Yeah, true. You hold on, but wait. What value is he providing to society by buying a house or an apartment that anybody else could buy? Why the fuck should he own it first?
Wait, have I not heard you argue about
Shut the
capitalist shit like this?
Shut
you're
the
so full
fuck
of
up.
shit. You
This-
Oh
no, no,
my
no, no,
god.
hey, listen.
Lycan is trying to think of a way to
Steven
apply
is
this to
such
the
an
West Bank.
intellectual
It's so
titan.
bullshit.
He can adopt any
No,
position
he
in
can.
any
He
argument.
absolutely can.
So,
but he's-
you know.
I just want to say he's full of shit right here.
No, answer the question. He hasn't done shit. Hold on, Dan. I'm sorry, Dan. When is the last time that you fucking renovated one of your buildings? Be honest.
Okay, that's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question.
Well, it depends which one you're talking about. I got a few.
He's like, well, the one that
Wait,
I own, like my personal house, or
is it okay to ask how many buildings you actually
yeah, how many
do own?
buildings do you have?
I'll do it in square footage, I think.
That would mean nothing to
Exactly.
me.
You don't know that?
He's
British,
English.
no.
They
We
don't use
we
feet over
do
there,
that,
dumbass.
Divide by 3.
No.
Bedrooms, I guess. How many?
I mean, could you just say
How about
buildings?
units, Dan?
Well,
Units.
Yeah, sure, units.
How many units have you renovated?
All of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah? How much did you spend renovating them?
I don't know. You don't have to spend much.
See? He only spends a little so he can charge more.
You do the floor and give them like new stainless steel appliances,
Oh my god.
and they're happy.
See? He doesn't even talk about renters like they're human beings.
I almost admire the way you're just talking about
It's
them. Like,
unreal.
true, right?
for a few tubs of tartar sauce.
Yeah, it's like-
as if you're going fucking.
I mean,
Mr.
like,
And
the
why,
Burns
hold
on
on,
me
and
right
why
now,
does he
you
even
know,
have the
like-
right to renovate those? Because he already has money. Hold on, Dan.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to ask a legitimate question.
Sure.
How many of these houses or apartments did you build?
Did I build?
Yeah.
None of them.
Exactly.
obviously,
Wait.
right.
So
Yeah.
he didn't build them, right?
Yeah.
Why the fuck should he make money out of them?
Yeah,
Hold
I
on.
didn't
Do you,
know my own-
do you live in any of them, Dan?
Do you own Hassan's mansion?
I own my own mansion only.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's reasonable.
So
Yeah.
here's what he does. So he's a guy who he pays for other people who make less than him to build the property. Then he owns it,
Yeah.
and then he rents it out to people who make less than him so that they can pay money on it.
I don't know. They might. They're tech workers. They could make more.
what are the profit margins?
Yeah,
of
what
being
are
a
the profit
landlord?
margins, Dan?
Is it pretty good?
It depends. where
Tax
you-
incentives included.
Like when you said earlier in the podcast, you said you no longer need to work. Is it predicated on the portfolio of
Yep,
property you
it
own?
sure is. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, which kind of sucks, I guess, a little
Kind
bit.
of kind of insane that he doesn't need to work because people that are
No.
poorer than him live in properties that he doesn't improve the value of, that he didn't build.
I do.
They'd have to pay him money to
I
live
do
there.
improve
And
the
if he
value.
didn't buy them, you know what they'd be doing? They would just be paying less because
No.
the bank would own them.
Yeah.
So why the fuck does he own them?
I don't know if the bank would
I
own
don't think the
them.
bank would own
yeah,
them.
I
I
don't
think
that's how
I think it'd be another Dan. That
Yeah, it would
owns
be
it.
another Dan.
What
Yeah.
happens if we get rid of all the Dans?
You can't. Well, that's what's.
Are
you
we
know.
calling for the death of all Dan?
I'm
Yeah,
just saying that if Dans weren't there, they could just have the property for cheaper.
They
Because
wouldn't.
you know what?
Okay.
If they were just renting the properties, you wouldn't have to send profit to this guy so that he doesn't have to work anymore.
Well, it's not just that. You know.
Really? What else is it, Dan?
Well, I mean, now I kind of don't want to tell you. I feel like it's all going to get aired out. You know, I
See
can't. I
that?
can't let all my secrets
Do you
get out.
fucking see that? That's wild.
No, listen. Again, within limits, I have no problem against it. But the issue is, a lot of people who buy property snowball into creating property ownership companies.
Which is what he did.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm that bad, but okay.
All right, gentlemen.
Oh my god.
really
Lycan is bailing. Lycan got the
right
fucking
Well-
Netanyahu call. Dan has to get
Sorry.
bailed out
Yeah.
from his fucking.
Thank you, Lycan. Thank you to the Mossad
Unbelievable.
handlers for ending this
Right.
before it gets a little bit too heavy.
Yeah. No.
Wait, hold on.
Before.
All right, Lycan, knock it off.
For fuck's sake, why'd you keep playing that?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
what's wrong
it was
with that
really good to meet
music?
you. We got criticized for our handshake yesterday.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, there we go.
All right, yeah,
Nice
you want to
fun.
fucking make?
If you're going to go for at least another hour, I can tell them to bring the tacos here.
Wait,
Yeah, do that.
Wait, no, wait, stop. Hold on, Lycan. God, where the fuck is this shit? Okay, Lycan. Hold on. Are we really tonight? They're here?
Yes.
I thought I said tomorrow.
No.
Lycan, give me 1 minute. I'm gonna show you the DMs. I said tomorrow.
Okay, just have them come here.
No,
Lycan.
no.
I'm going home. I'm not going to get
Dan,
fucking
you don't
tacos.
have a. Dan,
should get tacos,
Dan, I
Dan.
own you. You don't have a choice, motherfucker.
See?
If I tell you to
He
come,
says this.
You
he's
see the Faustian pact?
yeah, you see that
into?
Faustian? You know, you don't even know who Robert Faust is, do you?
In Jewish mythology,
He made
it would be
poems.
the
Oh, no, that's
it would be the
Robert-
golem
Oh my
myth
God.
would be
Robert
better.
Frost.
You made a golem.
Hold on, Richard
Destiny's
Lewis.
your
Can you
golem.
look at this real quick?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Hold on. Don't look yet. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
sorry, yeah.
bro.
Who are all these girls?
Stop.
You know, there's a lot of DMs.
Oh, Jesus.
No, stop, shut up.
They just send you boobs?
No, stop!
Wait, I want to see what's going
It says tomorrow at 9:30. Do you see that? Yesterday. Oh shit.
Yeah, you see the problem?
All right, wrap the show. Let's go.
Yo,
Oh my God.
linear time wins again.
Yeah.
I can't believe time only moves in one direction.
I know, it sucks.
But anyway, listen, hold on, guys. Look at me. Check out our new sponsor at ground.news.com/bridgespodcast.
Hey, no,
Thank you so
wrong
much.
thing.
And
No,
we're just,
fuck that.
This has all been a meme.
No.
And go to anythingelse.gg.
Yeah.
to
Steven was
subscribe.
only drinking Red Bull the whole time.
Yeah, I've only been drinking Red Bull the whole
I'm
time.
the only one who's
Hold on, but
actually
listen, guys,
consumed
thank you so
alcohol
much.
on this podcast.
I've been joined by Daniel Saltman here,
Yep.
who's been an amazing co-host.
Yeah,
I've been joined by
legal service can be sent directly to
Richard Lewis.
Feinstein and Feinstein.
I've also been joined by Richard Lewis here. Richard, tell them where they can find your Substack.
Yeah, just go to type Richard Lewis. I'm not the dead one for now.
Yeah.
Go to the Substack. You'll find it.
Yeah.
Find me on X.
And Lycan, where can they find? They can find Lycan at Lycan Cooks.
Well, you're gonna dox Lycan, so they can find him anywhere.
Lycan Jared.
Yeah,
Lycan
true.
Jared. Also, Lycan's trying to get a job cooking for XQC, so make sure you support
Yeah,
those cooking
he
streams.
needs help.
Fuck XQC. He needs to come on this show and stop hanging around with fucking
that
retards.
too. Lycan, why or XQC Felix?
Listen, Felix is good people, actually.
Yeah,
No,
but
he
why-
is, but
Why
why
is
is
he
he
hanging out with Aiden Ross?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know, because he's trapped in that vortex, man. You guys will pull him out 100%.
Yeah, but imagine
Felix
like,
is good people.
imagine
Maybe not
Dan.
after this episode.
Yeah, not well. The next one.
Yeah, you might be a little bit too toxic at this point.
No,
No,
now we're
You're
done.
gonna have to
not
wait
even.
until the lawsuit's over.
No, we're fine.
Give it
But
a
anyway,
Also-
Felix is good people.
Yeah, thank you guys. And hey, Dan, you got anything else?
I don't have anything else.
We'll catch you guys on episode 7 next time.
I think it's 6.
Thank you so much for joining us, guys. And also,
I can't wait to delete the VOD as soon as this goes. You press the end streaming button.
It was a real pleasure to be on a deleted vodka.
guys, we kept
Night,
it real.
guys.
We keeps it real.
Oh, we actually are deleting the VOD, by the way. This
Okay.
is paywalled only.
Dan, what's your favorite word? You want me to take my favorite word?
End the stream
All
now.
right, good night, guys. Off anythingelse.gg. Goodbye.
Hey, speaking of which, did you know that there's like almost another hour of this podcast that you're not going to see on this YouTube video? If you want to get the full thing, you have to be a Patreon subscriber, which you can do at patreon.com/anythingelse. You also have very cool things that you get in there, like being able to be on the live show viewer call-ins, suggesting the topics, and like behind the scenes footage. There's some really good stuff there. So yeah, check it out.
People were getting married in the United Kingdom at the age of 10, 12, and in America, all the way down in Delaware, it was actually 9 years old or 7 years old. It was legal to get married at this age. So
probably be frothing at the mouth to educate Sneeko and to give him tips. But I feel like knowing about the first Intifada makes me kinds of places. What's a bullet you should? I have to ask a question.
The trans athlete is going to do a lot to like foster a
Sorry. Yes, I will highlight half this book. The other challenge that was unfolding to Europe's dominance came to its west from the new.
To hear me say what they might be.
I'd like to just answer Tiffany's question, and then the thing that I think has been so hopeful over the past 5 years, and you know, you guys know that I'm really hopeful about this country. I love my countrymen. That's just the truth. And something that I think is so hopeful are events like this, having so many people come out to actually think critically.
Everybody knows that the United States is the one who.
Hey, real quick,
COVID.
if we're gonna bring,
no, hold up. If class have always.
What would it look like for conservatives
who are trying to inculcate?
You know what I mean?
I
don't.
Seth Rich. Did we mention Seth Rich? Bernie
Oh,
Sanders
man.
guy? Yeah.
Huh?
He was
I was
wrong.
right about fucking Seth Rich too. That's another thing. Everybody gave me shit about Seth Rich. They smeared me in the Washington Post. Fucking Dave Weigel. It's about.
Start with this. America. A summit.
The same thing that drives the Renegade DC team forward every day. A commitment to breaking conspiracies of silence. That's true. Challenging herd mentality and above all, fearless honesty. Rebel with a cause at Renegade DC. And now, our next panel with a bunch of people that I admire. They're going to talk about the question, is America becoming a communist country? I was a professor for 10 years. I can tell you it is. It was a Marxist death cult, and I don't miss that place at all. So with that in mind, we have Libby Emmons, Lauren Chen, Joe Allen, Texas Lindsay, and Craig Pasa Jardula, moderated by Tiffany Justice of Moms for Liberty. Have fun, everybody.
Hello, good evening. I have a feeling that the communism panel may not be as entertaining as the last one, so apologies for that. 100 million people killed in the last 100 years, not a peppy subject. I'll start with a joke. How do you know if someone's a communist? They tell you all the time that they're a communist. And it's true. We had a summit in Philadelphia, and the protesters out there were with the Democratic Socialists and the young communists, the revolutionary communists, and they had signs. And so the story I'll start with is this. There was a woman that was protesting outside of an event we had in New York City. If you go to Chris Elston, Billboard Chris's page, you can see there's a woman there. She has a mask on the top of her head, and she's screaming at him. She's the same lady who just accosted Alec Baldwin when he was getting coffee. Do you remember the lady that was yelling at him? Yeah. So the issue is never the issue. In my opinion, the issue is always the revolution. But we have some amazing people here tonight that are going to talk about that. So I wanted to start with this. America. Do we have shared values? When we talk about America, if America is in threat right now, Libby, I'll start with you. What kinds of values do we share as Americans?
I think we certainly used to have a lot of shared values, and I think that I'd love to know what you guys all think of this, but I think that a lot of them have started to fall away with the advent of identity politics and grievance and the concept of oppression politics, which recasts everybody as good or bad based on their skin color or their preferred pronouns or, you know, take your pick, their national border. So I think that some of the shared values that we used to have as Americans and that I certainly hope we still have and that I hope that we're all teaching the next generation is that natural rights are hugely important. Natural rights were given to us by the Creator. The government is not in charge of our rights. They can defend our rights, but the rights are ours no matter what any government entity ever says. Due process, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, you know, right to not have your property searched without a warrant, all of these things. This is hugely important. And these are the things that are not being taught in schools anymore. These are the things like I teach my son this separately. These are your rights. No one can stomp on them. So that would be, I think, the most important shared value, that and a belief in individual agency and the right to work and earn a living and support your family without government overreach.
Does anybody else want to weigh in? American values? Lauren?
I don't think Americans have shared values at all anymore, and it's really frustrating because
I think a lot of people are still living as if we're 20 years ago. And I would love to see, especially on the right, more of a wake-up call to the fact that you can complain about, oh, democratic values, liberty, a return to normalcy all you want, neutrality. I've even seen conservatives say, oh, we just want to go back to neutrality in the court system, in schools. Guess what? Communists don't care about any of that. They care about power, and that's exactly why they're winning. While we're trying to advocate for what's going to happen in 2024, communists are understanding that, well, if we put people in positions of power in every single institution, it's probably not going to matter whether we win elections or not, because we're still going to control many of the structures that are responsible for winning the country. That's why even though in 2016, Donald Trump did a lot to wind things back to where they used to be, but he still wasn't successful, unfortunately, in dismantling the infrastructure that communists have started to establish. I mean, in the bureaucracies, we saw that with the FBI, the swamp actually targeting Trump. We see that in the education system, lower education, K through 12, all the way to academia, definitely, the court system as well. We can win elections, and that's all well and good, we should, but until we start thinking like the communists, we're still never going to beat them, because we're always going to be on the defensive, unfortunately. And I think when we talk about why America doesn't have shared values anymore, it's because this has been going on for generations. We've been, I mean, young people especially have been brainwashed by the school system, by pop culture, and we're finally seeing the fruits of that. Like, for too long, the conservative movement has only focused on, ooh, policy, policy, policy. If we throw a Thomas Sowell book at someone, they will become conservative. No, it doesn't work like that. And the communists have understood that culture is everything, power is everything, and I mean, they're responsible, I think, largely for the division we see currently. It's worse than it's ever been, but it's not a new problem.
So I would agree with both Libby and Lauren on their points. I think, among the Americans whom I respect the most, the values that are secured by a constitutional republic that are deepest to me are simply human freedom and human dignity. I think that the Constitution was set up for that. I think the American Revolution was geared towards that. But I totally agree that America is completely fractured. It turns out diversity is not so much of a strength. And when people talk about making America great again, or people talk about American values, it's an open question. Is it colonial American values? Is it antebellum American values? Is it post-World War II Zionism and American values? Or is it the present globo homo American values? That's global homogeneity, just to be clear. And what I see happening is that as Americans are squabbling online and kind of trapped in a digital prison, that the cyborg theocracy emanating out of Silicon Valley is gaining more and more power by way of the human mind. And so whether we will end up being under a cyborg theocracy is an open question, but it is completely antithetical to human dignity and human freedom.
So I think one of the things that's really eroded the values in our country is, we removed God from the classroom, and God got replaced by these gender ideologies and these Marxists that really want to push forward an agenda that really has a communist underlying factor that is really eroding what our whole country was founded upon and built upon by the founders that wrote the Constitution and found this country. And I think whenever you remove something else comes in its place, and we end up with a gender ideology that was never an issue before. I never grew up around people that weren't sure if they were a boy or a girl, or 5-year-olds that were wanting to have a sex change. I think that really kind of erodes the whole basic truth of what's right and wrong and what is black and white. And so I think we're facing that in our education systems, and further along we go without pushing back and stopping this from rising. I think the more dangerous it gets, and the further we slip away from everything that this country was founded on. And I think we really have to go back to the values of the nuclear family and God and country, and putting those things first. So.
Wow, I am the odd man out on this panel tonight. I can tell you that much there.
I guess that makes you an imposter.
An imposter. I am the imposter for tonight.
Well, listen, I really think the name of this panel, Are We Becoming a Communist Country, is the wrong question. I really don't think it's about communism versus capitalism. I think it's more about freedom versus slavery. There's good and bad in every single ism, right? You know, when you say we're becoming a communist country, what communism are we becoming? Are we becoming a Trotskyite country? Or is it more the old-fashioned Stalin communism? You know, whatever. You know, which type of communism country are we becoming? Now, I will say this right off the bat. I think we're becoming more of a technocratic, woke, fascist kind of country, right? All the interests in this country are controlled by who? The stakeholders, the corporations. The definition of fascism, I know this being an Italian guy, my Mussolini, is the merger of corporations and state. But there is an attempt to kind of put this woke kind of mentality on all the communism out there. And really, to tell you the truth, it is the old trick in the book. It's divide and conquer. They want to make sure that you're blaming your neighbor. Blame the communists, not the ruling class, the oligarchs, the man behind the curtain. And that's what we have to ask ourselves. It's about freedom versus slavery. Let's not get duped in there and pointing the finger at communism. At the end of the day, there's a lot of great things about communism. There's a lot of bad things about communism. It's a workers' movement at the end of the day, right? It's about seizing the means of production. It's about not letting the corporations run wild. We're in the most capitalist country in the world, right? And we have mass censorship going on right now. They're shadow banning people left and right. We know what's going on with the January 6 people that have been locked up. So I would argue the fact that this is not about communism. It's not the first time they've tried to, let's pin the problem on a communist before. They've done this throughout history. So really it's not about communism. It's about those people behind, the man behind the curtain or the woman behind the curtain. We don't know what their pronouns are, but it's about control. And in any ism, they can control what's going on, whether it be capitalism, communism, socialism. And I've visited a lot of Latin American countries before where I do a lot of election integrity work, and I see a lot of socialists out there, really, to tell you the truth, and their move of socialism is a move of collectivism, right? It's about playing in the sandbox together nicely. We have a limited amount of resources, we have to share it, and we also have to come together to fight off the empire. In Nicaragua, their form of socialism is about fighting for freedom. It's about being free of the United States empire, stealing their resources, forcing these monetary loans on them. So I argue against the fact that we are turning into a communist country. We have stakeholders. It's a fascist country.
Okay, so several things. Number one, you asked what kind of communism. I would say it's largely Marxist, right? If we're talking about the woke ideology, it's largely using Marxist rhetoric, Marxist principles to define oppressor and oppressed classes. The only difference is that instead of talking about, the proletariat versus the bourgeoisie, we're talking about white versus brown, straight versus gay. So we're essentially replacing social classes and ownership of the means of production with different immutable characteristics. So I think, Marx is the first thing. The second thing, by no metric is America the most capitalist country in the world. I mean, some of the highest corporate tax rates, it cut down a little bit under Trump. That's not very capitalist. There's also, I think it's the World Economic Index. There is an index that every year ranks countries based on their economic freedoms. America is not even close to the most free. If you look at ease of opening a business, a free market, lack of regulation when it comes to things like taxes, America is actually very heavily regulated, and that's what really bothers me when we talk about the strengths or weaknesses of capitalism. A lot of people, especially students, assume that most of the problems that America has are due to capitalism. 99.9% of the time, they are actually due to government regulation, not capitalism. I've heard people blame capitalism for America's terrible healthcare system. I don't know if you guys have seen all of the laws and regulations that relate to healthcare in America. It's anything but capitalism. You also look at things like people looking at the housing crisis. That again, capitalism, no, it's not actually. It's bad government policy. It's whether it's banking, high student loan costs for people who are trying to borrow. All of these problems are actually government programs that are ruining people's lives. The only reason people think it's capitalism, though, is because it's happening in America and they're operating under the false assumption that America is capitalist. It's not. It's at best
What's a
mixed.
freer country than America?
Well, in terms of economic freedom,
What about individual liberties?
when it depends on what kind of individual liberties. So
Like
to
the
me,
right
you
to
cannot
speak, the
have
right to your
you
to
cannot
practice
have
your religion.
you cannot have economic freedom, or you can't have individual liberty without economic freedom, because economic freedom relates to
Well,
property rights.
Pick
and
your
without
definition
property
and tell me
rights-
a country.
Well, when it comes to economic freedom, it used to be Hong Kong, right? You have a flat
But
tax.
it's not a freer country now.
No, not now. But you also have countries, I mean, like the Caymans, where you don't have like taxes.
The Cayman
and
Islands
yeah.
because of the taxes.
Right.
So so we should all be moving to the Cayman Islands, raise our families there.
Well, if you care about things like individual liberty, including economics, you should be asking why America isn't more free like that. And I want America to be freer.
So the idea is less government regulation?
Yeah, absolutely.
Less like in terms of taxes
Yeah,
and things like that?
absolutely. I mean,
Yeah,
100%.
for sure.
100%.
Absolutely.
They have that in China, by the way.
What is? Hello. It's a real question that has to be asked first. What is communism, right? What is the definition of communism? Is it an economic system that is inherently centralized, that is ordered around a Marxist way of thinking, the Marxist philosophy that the proletariat inevitably, a kind of scientific theory, the proletariat will inevitably rise up against their capitalist oppressors. They will slay them, and you will then install a dictatorship of the proletariat, and then once the masses have become kind of new socialist man, then they're ready to be free of their chains, and it's a stateless society, right? A fully equalized society. But when you're talking about woke as Marxism, I mean, you have to really you have to make the distinction between the old left, which was very much, if not entirely, oriented towards the economic uplift of the working class, as opposed to this new left, this kind of woke left, which is entirely ephemeral. It's just, identity, who's white, who's black, who's gay, who's tranny, whatever. And those are two very, very different things. And you'll see, when you see Boeing and Raytheon, when you see JP Morgan Chase, when you see Citigroup waving the rainbow flags and the Black Lives Matter flags, I think it would be absurd to say that the banks and the military-industrial complex are initiating a communist revolution with woke in order to see themselves be deposed. It's in many ways just like in the early 2000s, after the 9/11 attacks, when corporations again and again were saying, we're pro-America, we're America first, and some of them even fronted the kind of Christian front. We're a Christian corporation. And most of those same corporations opened up the borders, facilitated the replacement of the American working class, and most of them are about as Christian as, I don't know, Augustus Caesar. So I think the woke is a smokescreen by and large. I don't think woke may use the rhetoric of Marxism in some way, just as they use the rhetoric of Christianity or whatever. But I think at the end of the day, nobody on this panel said that American values were, at least the ones that we should cherish, are how do we make more money with capitalism? How do we get power over our fellow citizens? And that is, in essence, what the banks, the military-industrial complex, and of course, the cyborg theocracy in Silicon Valley are initiating.
Well, I agree with you largely. But something that I'm waking up to the fact is that the idea that companies will always act in their self-interest financially, that's actually not true. If we look at what's happening with ESG scores and BlackRock investment, we actually see that companies like Disney, they are incentivized to pursue DEI initiatives, even if they know that's not what the customer wants and that it's going to lose them money, because they're hoping that they might actually get some investment from firms like BlackRock because of good ESG scores.
So more
Disney
money.
has,
They're
hang
getting
on, we'll get to
sued
that.
by shareholders. They're getting sued by shareholders for not actually upholding their end of the bargain.
Because it's losing them money. You might say, well, they're still doing it in the
so
hopes
we do
of
have
money.
fail-safes on that.
Well, they're still doing it in the hopes of, getting money, so you might say it doesn't actually count. But I think, again, communists are interested in power. These people have inserted themselves into every level of Disney's creative sphere, right? They're the animators, they are the writers, they're actually entire boards that were dedicated to ensuring that, the ESG message would be part of Disney's entertainment going forward. They're actually at every level, human resources. So it's not like there's someone who's at Disney, actually arguably Bob Iger, but there's in most companies not someone who's at the head saying yes, I'm a communist, I'm going to push Marxist agendas. But the thing is, there are individual activists who have inserted themselves into positions where they're absolutely able to, in whatever way possible, push a woke agenda, a Marxist agenda, whether that's through, diversity initiatives and hiring, whether that's through trying to, brainwash different employees, fire certain employees for not meeting certain social standards, whatever it is. Companies very rarely have like one person at the top who knows what's going on at every level. These are individual activists who are pushing the agenda individually, like what's happening in the government as well. I don't think there's necessarily, one person pulling all these strings. It's small agents who are, taking it upon themselves to do whatever they can individually to push the message. And yes, they work in corporations.
One thing that we saw that was amazing, though, was when DeSantis pushed through the Parental Rights in Education Act, and that happened in Florida, and Disney freaked out, right? We also saw that the basic workers at Disney were incredibly in favor of the parental rights in education law, as were the majority of Americans, right, across the nation. So we see that perhaps these elites are pushing this stuff. They're pushing this shit onto us. But for the most part, the workers, who I would say, like, a lot of us are, we have a job, we earn a salary, we're very happy to pay our mortgage with that, with that money. We're not in favor of this stuff. And so to a certain extent, I think that we can look to basic Americans, the people who are out there just living their lives, who want to raise their families, who want the dignity of a decent job with good working conditions, fair pay, and want to be essentially left alone, to push back against this stuff. And that's kind of what I was getting at with the idea of shared values being our natural rights. Because one of the biggest American values is leave me the fuck alone, to work my job, to take care of my family, to live my life, get off my lawn, you know what I mean? Like, keep your bullshit porn out of my kids' schools. Let me raise my kids my way. It's not up to you. Don't close my churches just because you're afraid of some, cold virus. This is the American values, and these are American values that I would say, I don't know, some, 75 million of us share, perhaps, and I think that that's really important to remember when we think about these corporations and we think about, the woke communists in government and stupid Joe Biden, and we think about all of these people who are pushing this stuff. They yell that it's from the bottom up and the middle out, and we know it's from the top down with their big jack boots trying to step on us, you know what I mean, or expensive ones, whatever it is. So we know that that's all true, and we can look to our countrymen. We know that Americans are, at the core, good people who just want to do the right thing and want to live their lives. And that's why I say that there's hope for this country, because I believe in my countrymen, I believe in Americans.
Awesome stuff, by the way. You know who believed that they should blow up the whole system and start over again? Marxist, right? And let me just make this point real quick. Build back better. Not at all, and stuff like that. And the fact that we even try to call Joe Biden a communist is delirious right now. He's not a communist, and at all. And let me just make a point right now, because we're talking about Marxism. And I think what people are trying to refer to, someone on this panel, Lauren, you were talking about it, it's cultural Marxism. You know what the crazy thing about cultural Marxism? It didn't come from Marx. It came hundreds of years after from a campus, whatnot. It's an untwisted ideology. It never came from Marx. And I've also heard you say, too, as well, that, and I hear people say this all the time, we never really had a pure capitalist system. You know who also say that? Communists. Communists say all the time, we never had a pure communist system. There's a lot of communism who believe that eventually we'll get to a stateless society, a utopia of sorts. Now, I don't believe we'll get there whatsoever, but I do believe in a capitalist society will always morph into some form of fascism. The corporations will always have control, they'll control the resources, and they'll control the markets. So that's just something I want to kind of point out more than anything. And in a lot of, when it comes to Marxist ideology, it simply is a workers' ideology at the end of the day.
But
there
it's
are good
not
and bad.
anymore. It's not
Anymore.
workers anymore.
Anymore, but
like,
if we're
that's
talking
the
about the
old
roots,
idea. That's the old idea of Marxism, is that it was the workers.
To
And even if you
Americans-
look at it, sure,
to-
but even
to
if you look at it,
Americans-
even if you look at the European methods of Marxism and communism, even if you look at it
Yeah.
in Asia, and you have a lot
Latin
of
America.
experience in Latin and South America
Yeah.
for sure, which I've only visited there once. But even if you look at the way that Marxism evolved in those places, Mao was already the chair of the Communist Party in China. Do you know what I mean? Like, these people were already at the top. They were top academics and scholars. They were top politicians. They were at the top. And they used the proletariat, if you will, to bolster their movement, when really what they were doing was using the heavy arms of government power to abolish these people. And I think we see that nowhere better than in the literature of Eastern Europe and Russia, from during the communist period. Look at what Kafka was writing about. Kafka basically wrote the trial about some trials that are going on in DC, Southern Florida, and New York and Georgia right now. Like, you could read Kafka's trial and you're like, holy shit. Like, that's exactly what they're doing to Trump. It's this kind of thing. They don't let you see the evidence. They don't let you see the discovery. You know, they build it all against you, and they have no evidence. They have no goal other than to destroy you. Like, that's what happens. And at the end of Kafka's trial, they take Kay, the main character, they take him out into the street to drag him off to jail, and they basically just kill him in the street. You know what I mean? And you see that also in Kafka's Metamorphosis, where the guy turns into a bug, because that's what communism does to you. Turns you into someone who can only see themselves as a cockroach half dead under the bed, you know?
So
we can look at that.
If there's one common point that I think that we would all agree on, is that top-down authoritarianism is not the optimal system for any of us, right?
Correct.
Is that fair to say that we have consensus on that?
Freedom versus slavery.
And so words like fascism, words like communism, even words like technocracy and transhumanism, it's really easy to sling them around as boogeymen, right? You're doing a transhumanism, mama. You're doing a communism, or you're doing a fascism. Fascism is about blood and soil, right? Fascism is about an organismic view of society in which all of us are cells in one body. And I don't see any of that coming out of the World Economic Forum. I don't see any of that really coming out of Silicon Valley, out of the banking industry. So I think that I'm sure everyone in the audience is probably familiar with the Russian philosopher Alexander Dugin. Very popular, right? Thanks. So
There's one.
if there's one thing, you know, I consider Alexander Dugin to be an enemy of the United States. I consider him to be very much opposed to America. But if there's one thing that you can take from his theories that I think is absolutely correct, it's that ideas such as communism, ideas such as fascism, and even increasingly ideas such as liberal democracy are becoming very outmoded. It's a boomer way of thinking. And I think what we're moving into is so amorphous. There's so many different threads running through it, all of it leading to top-down authoritarian rule, that the more we're looking for the communist under the bed or the transhumanist in the computer, which, by the way, he's there, and the more that we're looking for the fascist behind the rebel flag, the more retarded we become and the less able we are to actually see the system itself.
So let's talk about what's actually happening right now in America. Thank you, Joe. So in our K through 12 schools, we have kids being divided. They're being taught that America is a broken country, and they're being taught to hate each other, truly hate each other. And now we have on our college campuses, we see all of the anti-Israel protests, right? I saw a video of a young woman. She was holding a sign that said, Hamas is not welcome on native land. And she was accosted and her sign was taken. So I just wonder, like, where do we go from here? If colleges really cared about DEI and equity, right, then they would have, that girl would have been, you know, accepted, right, for her position. So what's happening right now in the colleges that we see, and what's happening with the kids? What are they being taught in school? What's the end result of that?
Well,
or the wanted result.
If I could give one concession, if there's any institution in our society that is actually a nesting ground for actual Marxism, that would be the academy, without a doubt. That's where you have the most open, avowed communists or Marxists who are trying to inculcate the youth with that ideology. But as Marxism has spread across the campuses, something else is happening. You have the administration getting more and more bloated. You have presidents paid many more millions and millions of dollars. So I'm not going to pretend to understand what the motivation is for allowing Marxism to run rampant, while if I step up and say, you know, I'm a white guy and I'm actually pretty nice, and I'm completely dismissed and eliminated, while the Marxist is, I'm a Marxist revolutionary, is given tenure. I don't know their motivation, but what I will say is that if you have a university president, you know, making tens of millions of dollars, it is not a Marxist institution. It is something else. I would say it's fake and gay.
I would agree with you that it's fake and gay. I would add that it's also totally retarded, you know.
I love that we're reclaiming that word.
I think we should.
It feels so good.
It feels like middle school when you get to say gay and retarded. You know, these were like really big insults in 1987. So You know, I think that American universities have entirely lost the plot. I think it's time to defund them. I wrote about this just yesterday for humanevents.com. And you know, these were institutions that were once the stewards of American culture, of civics, of ethics, of American letters. They're now activist training grounds for those who hate America. They're actively teaching students to hate America. And as such, nobody should go to them, right? We should learn things in a different way. It's possible to learn the law. There's a way to learn law where you study the law with lawyers, and that's what you do. You just read the law books. You don't have people teach you law. You don't need teachers if you can educate yourself. All we need to do is learn how to learn how to educate ourselves, and learn how to identify useful things to learn, useful books that we can study. Learn the law, read the Constitution, read the old books. That's what we should do. No, like, I think that there used to be a university that was dedicated to just the study of great books. And that's what we need. It's time to get rid of these middlemen to knowledge that don't actually know anything. Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to go crash out.
Is that American conservatives, American free thinkers, American critical thinkers have ceded all of the stewardship of our culture to people who hate the nation, and it's just time to get rid of them and everything that they
Let me say this much too as well, because it's like this whole people hate the nation kind of thing. What you hear twice as much nowadays is America's the greatest country out there in the face of the earth, right? Well, what is that about? That's not so much about saying that America is great or bad. It's about excusing America for its past sins. We got to remember, this is the only country.
Yeah, redemption matters, and I will redeem and forgive this country and give this country grace.
Well, that's okay, but we shouldn't
forever.
forget what happens. There's still people out there who are saying it was okay that we dropped 2 nuclear bombs, 2 atomic bombs on civilians.
Listen, we could argue about
right?
that.